Well, my man MoneyBoy Trey in the building. He said, hit that like or we gon' fight. Make sure you check him out on YouTube.
Let me talk to the host. The host is MoneyBoy Trey. What's popping?
Will you interview with at MoneyBoy Trey?
Or MoneyBoy Trey is back. Where you been?
MoneyBoy. You see me in they chats because that's the circle that I associate with.
MoneyBoy said manhood is subjective. No, the fuck it's not.
Good garbage evening, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the Knicks. The damn Spurs blew it again. Like, the Spurs are great for 4.5 quarters. They just can't, 3.5 quarters. They just can't figure the fourth quarter out. They were winning up until about 2 minutes left, and then it just, I don't know what to say. Great series, though. I can't. It's great basketball all the way around. The Knicks deserve it. It's been since 1973. Jalen Brunson is a tank. Looks like Mia Hamm, the ex-coach of the Spurs, who said that if Jalen Brunson was your number one option, that you would win the finals. Looks like she got to blow it out her ass. She's like, they re-brought her comments up a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, I said what I said. You know what women say. Prove me wrong. He proved you wrong, so hopefully you will be apologizing. I know I said earlier I was done with the whole Karmelo content, but I had got triggered again because this the video I was listening to last night, and I had found the YouTube channel, and I had went on over there and caught what the first 58 minutes that the first 58 minutes. The first 58 minutes, it was like they were on Fatty's show, and Myron and Andrew Wilson were over there, and yeah, they cussed Fatty out and some more shit. But yeah, this I don't know why I know this dude for some reason too. This guy here, the GOAT debater. This the channel he's on. They did a damn 12-hour live stream on this show. Like I know it was still going when I had went to sleep and woke back up. Yeah, it's gonna be some interesting things. This is some women gonna come up there. It's gonna be some diversity. I heard a lot of crazy ass shit in this here conversation, and yeah, let's talk about it. Let's listen. Let's talk about it. Let's react.
Deny it, but just listen to how they talk. Listen to how they talk. They ain't got no problem going in on you, right? I know what our people do. I'm from the hood. Niggas get on my nerves at times, but it's no way in the world my people could ever be worse than this goddamn crap. Never. Nah. Based off of history. It's not even close.
We've been joined by Tommy in Clue Studio. Tommy was here first. Shoot.
Hey, I just wanted to say something. I was listening to it, and I have a couple of thoughts on it. I talked on my show, and I said, well, if you watch this young man, how they're treating him, I don't think he would have been treated that way. It's like two ways of looking at it. I don't think he would have been treated that way if he was white. I also don't think he would have been treated that way if he had done it to another black person. But then I have to ask y'all this question. There are two things that's going on right now, and it seems like both sides, white and black, are being unfair about them. If you think it was okay for Karmelo Anthony to shoot someone, to stab someone because they were bullying him, then you also would think it was okay for Chud the Builder to shoot somebody because they put his hands on him too. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I remember I brought this up when we was waiting on the verdict on Truth Show that day. I brought it up. I was like, if we're gonna say across the board, if somebody put their hands on you, hit you, push you, whatever, you're allowed to stab or shoot them, then we're gonna have to say it's okay what bruh did. You can't pick and choose. You got to be fair across the board.
Either Chud the Builder can go around and say what he wants, just like this dude can sit in your tent if he wants. And if you put your hands on him, he can end your life, because both of them did it. But I'm watching white folks on the side of Chud the Builder not be on the side of Karmelo Anthony. And I'm watching black folks be on the side of Karmelo Anthony and not be on the side of Chud the Builder. This case.
Let me take that first, and then y'all can get it. So for me, when I argue the Chud the Builder,
what the hell? Hold on, yeah, I did something wrong. Hold on.
Situation, I told black people do not respond to him physically. because it gives him the right to do what he want to do. That was the entirety of the argument, and the video is still up. So my argument is, do not fall for the Chud the Builder tactics. Don't touch him. He wants to get you in a situation
Agreed.
where you do some dumb shit. Avoid that shit. Don't do no dumb shit.
No, I agree. And so that's what I was saying. Even the people say they're not the same. I'm like, they literally are. One of them was sitting under, we don't have any Karmelo was assaulted. None. And Karmelo was in a place in which he knew he wasn't supposed to be there, and he had a weapon, knowing the other people didn't. One thing I know is I grew up in high school. I went to middle school. Athletes aren't walking around with knives. If somebody want to fight, we fight it. We shoot a fair one. We don't have a knife. And y'all know that the idea of somebody bringing a knife.
Well, it wasn't high school, but you know, Gilbert Arenas and Jarvis and Crittenden, they was walking around the arena in Washington with pistols and shit, just putting them in the locker room on chairs and shit, talking about which one you gonna use, homie. So it's a couple. James Harden just got locked up last night with a pistol in his car. He was in Houston, but he wasn't at a game though. So I guess I shouldn't have used that one because he wasn't at work or at a game. But Gilbert Arenas was.
Knife and then using these words, touch me and see what happened. When I went to Harlem, if I had done that and then shot the black people, put their hands on me, y'all would call me all kinds of punks. If I'd have stabbed one of them, y'all would call me all kinds of punks. Y'all would have said, why did you go to that black meeting knowing they don't like you? Hell, y'all can't even have a simple conversation with a person you don't like. Well, every time Tommy come around, we got to call him names. I don't hear anything.
No, Tommy, no, we're not doing that. We're talking about this again.
I'm saying we got to have the same smoke.
No, but listen what I'm saying. You make it. Listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You going into the issues that we have with each other and comparing it to our situations with white folks.
I'm
not going to let you do that. Let's keep it right where it is.
Hey, when you say you're not going to let me do this.
No, because you're going to take it somewhere else and spin it. I know you, Tommy.
Okay, where am I taking it? Because you said you're not.
No, let's keep it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Let's keep it when you asked about Chud, and then let's put it over to the Karmelo situation. Chud was breaking the law because Chud was walking around in people's personal space and harassing them, which is against the law, calling them racial slurs. Why? Hold on, let me finish. You could disagree, but let me make my point. I'm gonna shut up and let you go. He had already put up videos, right? Where people knew who he was because he was out there for months. The state of Tennessee saw this and allowed it to happen. He also put up, in conclusion, there'd be a dead chimp on the ground. So now we have a template for what he's doing. He's going around harassing people, right? And he has a fire on him. He's calling them niggers and chimps, right? And some people laugh and some people are saying, like, leave me alone, get out of here, but he's still doing it. First of all, when you go, if you come into my personal space and he's calling me a name, you have a right to say something, but you have a right to come and harass me. Harassing somebody is not legal. It's against the law. Right? And I tell you, yo, listen, leave me alone. Oh, you chimping out and you still stay there. That's a problem. That's a problem. So we can deal with that part. So, I mean, you can shake your head, but again, you cannot harass people. He was harassing people. You might not agree, but I disagree. That was for harassment. Go ahead.
So now you're repeating yourself and you're not letting me respond back. That's why I'm shaking my head. I'm saying you started repeating yourself. But the point is, you knew what you were saying didn't hold water because of this part, what you said. He was going around in those people's area and in their space doing it. That's not what happened here. That man saw him and attacked him for what he saw him do online. That's why I compared it to what happened to me. I wasn't saying anything rude to no Harlem. They were mad at videos they had seen that I'd done online. You can't attack me because you saw a video and got offended. That doesn't make sense. You can't put your hands on me because I said something you didn't like. You're trying to call it an attack that he said nigger, but he didn't say it to them, up to that guy. He didn't say it to him. So you can't walk up to me because you saw something on YouTube. You were mad. You're going to beat me up. By that logic, I can get mad at what I saw on Die Hard because I didn't like how that guy was treating Bruce Willis. So I see him in real life. I'm going to beat him up.
What happened with you in Harlem?
Hey, Gertrude. Hey, Lee.
To build the case because you wasn't walking around for months. Hold on, you wasn't walking around for months antagonizing and harassing people with a microphone, calling them the N-word and all those different things. So
he didn't to that guy. Why aren't you going to address that? He didn't do it to that guy.
I'm addressing it right now. I'm going to say it the way I want to say it, though. Now, again, you wasn't going around harassing people.
That man said, I'm going to say it the way I want to say it to talking to. That's why I stopped having these type conversations and debates and things. That people are fucking irritating. The main point is Tommy's saying, hey, the dude that actually assaulted Chud and got shot, he ain't say nothing to him. He didn't call him a nigger. He didn't bother him. He didn't tell that dude he was chimping out. I don't know if that's true or not. This is what Tommy is saying happened. I don't know if it's true or not. From my recollection of it, Chud came up to him. He was asking him if he liked his suit or whatever. Dude was telling him, like, don't say this shit to me that you be saying I got PTSD. I don't think Chud called him a nigga. He probably said something about chimping out. And they said that Chud, whatever the fuck Chud said, dude got agitated enough to where Chud looked like he was finna put his hand on his pistol, and dude went to whooping his ass. Now, dude wasn't locked up at all. Like the guy that got shot 5 times, he didn't have any charges. I'm guessing they saying like you got shot 5 times, that's enough. Like, but Chud, he like Chud, you have turned this nigga into the Clarksville Tupac. Nigga, you shot him 5 times and he ain't dead, nigga. You in jail, he not. Like, he is finna start a rap career and go double platinum because you didn't kill him. Like, he could be the next 50 Cent. But yeah, that guy didn't get charged. But yeah, the dude is saying like, so wait, Chud didn't call him a nigga. He can't be mad that Chud called somebody else a nigga and he's offended for that person because he saw who he did it to last week and was like, what's up, nigga? Do it to me. The man said, I'm going to address it, but I'm going to say it how I want to see it.
So when they encountered each other, he had already created the atmosphere for that to happen. Now, I'm not, hold on, I'm going to say this from my land. I'm not under the knowledge that this guy walked up to him first. What I was led to believe that he came up saying what he said. The
Chud case is definitely going to be interesting. If he goes to trial, hopefully these motherfuckers air it. Hey, it's close enough. I could probably go to the gym, but you know I got babies and shit. Yeah, it's close enough. I could technically go, but yeah. It just depends on when it is and all that other good stuff.
Hold on, I'm gonna land here. They had a confrontation and he told the guy got PTSD, leave me alone. And then it escalated from there. Go ahead.
Again, you address the guy who ain't bothering you. You don't get to do this. Just because you say something on here right now, nobody get to walk up on you and address you talking about they didn't like it. There's got to be some self-control. That is insane. No, and you're justifying that. But then if you're going to do that, then you got to justify these people in a tent in which they asked you to get out of their tent. Leave. I promise you, if I was somewhere, and this was funny, y'all accept the fact that you can't go to that neighborhood knowing you're set tripping, knowing you wearing blue and they wearing green. We do all this about everybody else. But white people are supposed to have ultimate respect for blacks, that they let blacks do what they want. But we don't let each other do what we want. How's that fair?
But when has white ever had respect for blacks? So
why I you're asking for it now, though. But we don't respect each other.
That has nothing to do with what happened in these cases. Listen, every community got their issues. Just because black people got their issues, don't mean that we can bring the argument in that white people got the right to say and do whatever they want to do to us. I'm not letting you do that. They got the right to say they built that tent up themselves. That's their tent. It was theirs. You shouldn't be under it if it's theirs. Just like right now in Atlanta, we have a place. It's called the Beltline. Me and my daughter will go and we'll put up a tent and we'll sit there. You don't have a right to come get up under my tent and you're gonna stay out here.
Though, Tommy, that's not the same as a tent at a high school.
No, it is because that's their bro. It is. And you were in high school. You can't even walk in a nigga huddle without getting beat up. Come on,
that's
y'all are telling lies now.
So let me ask you.
I literally asked Mad on Truth Panel. I said, Mad, you play sports. What would happen if the opposing player walked into your goddamn huddle? Like, again, if you play sports, you know that's a sign of disrespect. It's like going into the locker room. You don't do it. You don't do it. You know what come with it. If you do decide to be the bold nigga to step on the logo and this, you know what come with it. Nobody's shocked.
Just to be serious now, yes, I'm dead serious, bro. I was in
other school. Somebody can come walk in y'all huddle and nothing happened.
Listen what I'm saying. Let me explain something to you. I was not. Relax. You got to relax. I was not arguing when I'm in school. I'm telling you as a parent what I saw. I saw these kids interacting with each other. For me, it was sportsmanship. They knew each other. It was normal for them to be around each other. They wasn't the same community.
Once they told me it wasn't friendly, and y'all keep.
All I know is when my kids was playing football and I was coaching, Anything that move, kill it. That's the motto. If it move, take his head off.
He's trying to claim he was about to get jumped.
You
So
gotta
what?
relax, bro.
You can't say that now.
I haven't said he's about to get jumped. We haven't got that
Tommy,
far
You
yet.
ain't cut that brother off. He
But
kept saying it.
But Tommy, why
Oh
are
my
you
God.
justifying? Hold on, Tommy. What, Tommy? Hold on. Because see, listen, you make the statement about what black people do, right? And you just want to interject the shit that we do to each other, right? Why aren't you condemning the fact that Chud was just doing this? Period. Why
I did. Wait a minute. I did. That's the difference between me and y'all. I am honest. I sit up there and told white people, I said, there's something wrong with y'all that y'all backing a white dude going around and calling black people names. That tell me how low your life is, that you happy to see this, that he can go viral because y'all want to see him do it.
Right.
I'm not like y'all. I don't say because a black person, if it happened between a black and a white person, I got to take the black person's side.
Now let me respond to that. But that's because you play into your white audience. You don't want to lose it.
Oh my! Y'all see what he said?
You kissing ass, Tommy.
I just told you I went off on Chud.
Listen, Tommy. Let me say.
Wait. This, you can't win. His question was, hey, why aren't you condemning the fact that Chud did this at all? And he said, I took it a step further. I condemn Chud and I condemn the white people who made this possible, who made him go viral. And that man said, well, you only doing it because you appeasing your white audience. So if that's the case, if that was your answer, why in the fuck did you ask him why he ain't condemning it? It would be the same reason that you said he gave for condemning it. If he didn't condemn it, it's because he trying to appease his white audience. But it's, I hate the internet. This is what the internet has become, a whole bunch of, I got to get some gotcha moments. I got to upstage you. I got to have a viral moment. That's all the internet has produced in 2026.
Qualify why I'm saying it. Let me qualify what I'm saying.
Are you lying? Sure, go ahead.
Hold on. I'm gonna shut up and let you go. But I'm
Don't tell me I got a white audience because you don't know if I have one.
Tommy, stop it, Tommy.
Tell them how you know my audience is white, please.
Tommy, stop, Tommy.
Oh, you're just not gonna do it. You're just gonna be open.
Let's not skip over that. Somebody had hands.
We all black over here, Tommy.
But I also don't lie.
No, hold on. Let me say what I'm saying. Don't cut me off. I want to cut you off.
Please don't lie on me then. I haven't lied on you once. Every time I need to say something, I talk about the situation. I don't have to lie on another person.
Y'all see what he's doing, right? Y'all see what he's doing now.
No, I'm asking you not to talk about me like that. Don't do it.
No, I'm not lying on you.
Defend myself.
But you won't know. You don't have.
Okay, I'm gonna call you gay when I start and see if you be okay with it.
But we're not in a fight, so you don't have to defend yourself. We just talking.
I'm asking you not to say something untrue about myself.
No,
just talk about the case. I ain't talked about you.
No, but I'm qualifying why I'm saying it based off of what you said.
You said that I went off on Chud because my audience is white. That doesn't make sense.
You still won't let me talk. You triggered by what I said. You keep cutting me off.
Then I asked you
not.
We're
not gonna go.
Don't say anything that's untrue about me. Just speak about the subject, please. That's all I'm asking. Don't tell me my audience is white. Because you don't know.
When that happened? When it switch up?
I want to know when I can go.
If one of you can tell me that you know my audience is white, please do.
I asked when it switch up. I'm saying I don't know what your audience is.
No. Tell me when it was.
I don't know what your audience is.
Hold up, psychopath. It hasn't gone yet.
I don't know what it was before. So I'm asking you, they're saying it's not like that today. I'm asking
when did you stop being gay, sir? When did you stop being gay?
When did your audience switch up from being white?
At the same time you stopped sucking penis.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I got it. Okay.
How can you
over here? You don't want your dick swinging on fucking OnlyFans. You don't want your dick swinging on OnlyFans with niggas all over your goddamn membership. You got no niggas on your fucking membership to OnlyFans with your dick swinging. And you calling me gay? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me?
You don't want to know about it.
That is wild. What are you talking about? Shut your dumb ass up. Shut your coon loving ass up. Your whole fucking fan base was storefront. It was 810. It was 410.
Miss B, I don't know none of these niggas he talking to. I don't know. I know the channel holder name is Taz. I don't know the other gentlemen that are up there having a conversation with him.
And now you want to sit up here and pretend like you got all these black people in your chat. Stop playing with me, dog. Like I said, when the fuck did your audience change? When did your audience change? That's what I'm asking you right now.
My question to that guy saying that is, how in the fuck would you, it's internet, sir. You can't see none of these people. So how in the fuck would you know what color they are? Most people on the internet don't actually have their picture as their fucking avatar in a chat. So how would you know whether they were white or black based off a name and an avatar picture? this is his everyday life though. I'm not a super villain like him, nor do I aim to be. Cause this what he got to deal with. That's why I ain't go nowhere. I don't go nowhere because I don't like dealing with people.
These niggas can't wait to come up here and yell
That's
things.
That's what I thought. That's why switch it up. Switch it up. That's why I get back to the topic. Stop being a victim. Stop playing fake ass victim up on here like you always do, and stick to the fucking topic.
Do that shit to Myron.
Be the victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not Metcalf. You're not this Metcalf. You're not a victim. I know you want to be a white victim. You want to be a white victim. Bad as hell up on here. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to be a white victim up on here. That's what you're not going to do. Now you want to speak on topic or not?
You just said you dick watching. You just let these people know you dick watching.
I'm done.
You came up here to let other people know you dick watching. That is weird. He did it. I didn't. He wanted y'all to know. I see his OnlyFans.
All right, let's chill.
I didn't see sell your OnlyFans. I ain't on nobody's OnlyFans. But mother said you was on there with your dick swinging. And that's disgusting. What the fuck is that? He like that dick swinging. But niggas all up on there? That shit is wild. That shit is wild.
I'm pretty sure the first porn he ever saw was man and woman, and the bitch was 5. So I'm pretty sure, unless there's some gay guys over there, that you never know. I mean, you don't know unless they tell you. But I'm pretty sure if it's some men over there on his OnlyFans, it's probably because they feel like the bitches he fucking is fine, and they want to see the fine bitches. I'm just assuming, but you just go assume because people are over there, they gay. Oh, this shit was, I don't think I caught all of this.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
When did I address you?
That's what I thought. I'm addressing you. I'm addressing you. Shut the fuck up on the panel. You're on the panel, dumbass. You are on the panel, dumbass. I'm not on your channel. I'm not on your channel. This is a panel. I'm on here all the time. Where the fuck did you come from? Shut your dumb ass up. Shut your stupid ass up.
Oh boy, he's angry. He said, "I'm here all the time. You on my home field. Where you come from?" Well, that boy, whoever that is, the guy at the bottom. I don't know what the fuck his name is, but he is angry. Oh, psychopathiest. Yeah, he's angry. I guess I think that's who talking.
You mad now? Now you mad? Now you a victim, right? Go run back to your.
Well, no, I don't know who that is. Normally, you could see the Avatar movie. I can't see who Avatar doing it. I assumed it was the psychopathiest, but I'm not 100% sure.
Platform, go cry victim. Go run back to your platform and play victim like you always do. Now I'll give you content. I came up here to give you some content, then that's what you wanted. You came up on here to be a victim. You came up on here to cake for that cracker, and then you go run back to your platform and be a victim. That's what you came up on here to do. I'm giving you what the fuck you want. I'm giving you what you want. Now you're mad. Now you tip it out. Now you tip it out. Look at me. Now you tip it out. Now you mad as shit. I know. Go ahead and do what you got.
Wait, so it's offensive when Chud the Builder says to black people, "You're chimping out," but it's okay for black people to say to black people, "You're chipping out"? I just see, I'm so confused in 2026. I don't know the rules of engagement for any of this shit no more. That's why I stay to myself. They tell y'all I don't go outside. I do not go outside. I be in the house and I'm happy with it because I don't know the rules. It's too much. I don't know. A white person says, "Hey, bro, you chipping out," get mad, whoop his ass. Black person says to the same black person, "You chipping out," it's supposed to be socially acceptable. Whatever, I'm just fuck this shit.
This is what you always do. You're mad that you can't mute me right now, right? Actually, you can mute me. Actually, you can mute me. You can motherfucking hit up as a super chat. He ain't got super chat. Hit up this goddamn motherfucking cash out, and you can get me the fuck up off here. You get me the fuck up off here right now. You mad now because you broke. Because you broke. Because you lost your own channel, and you ain't even got no money no more. What happened to your fucking mansion? All that beat ass motherfucking real mansion, and you got kicked out.
Wait a damn minute. Now, wait. Now, listen to this brother. This brother just said, "If you want to shut me up, hit dude cash out. But you can't because you broke." And this man just told you he got an audience full of white people, and he do OnlyFans, and he said he broke. And then said you switched mansions. You went from a bigger mansion to another mansion. I don't understand the rules of this shit. This brother just said you went from a big mansion to another mansion that ain't as big, but it's still a mansion. But you broke because you lost your YouTube channel, even though he streams in other places. You lost the YouTube channel, so you broke. It is crazy. I don't know how he does this shit. I wish I knew who it was that was talking.
That's a super chat. He ain't got super chat. You have this goddamn motherfucking cash out, and you can get me the fuck up off here. You get me the fuck up off here right now. You mad now because you broke. Because you lost your own channel, and you ain't got no money no more. What happened to your fucking mansion? That was a big ass motherfucking Ritter mansion that you got kicked out of. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now keep chipping out. Keep chipping out. That's what I thought.
You gonna sit here and yell at me the whole time? Nigga, I'm sorry I didn't pay you.
Get back on topic. You want to get back on topic and be the victim?
All right, let's get back to it, man. Y'all got it in. Y'all got it in, man. Let's get back to it, man. Y'all got it in. Now, come on, but y'all got it in, though, fam. Let it go. Let's get back to it. I don't understand what all this disdain is now. I was kind of surprised right there at your position, Tommy, but I still don't know about this your audience thing being black. I really don't care about that in terms of this topic. But it sounds like you're in somewhat agreement with the black community on this. Am I right or wrong?
Hold on, I'm in on this situation. Yes, I even started off saying it. I said if it had been a white boy, they wouldn't have given him this sentence. Close, not even close. Those were my first words when I came up. I said it. Matter of fact, on my last show, I said this made me see something. I said all them white people was happy as fuck and sent Chud the Builder a whole bunch of money for calling niggas to their face, messing with people that ain't bothering him. I said, but in this situation,
this ain't my
they got a problem with Karmelo.
I'm just a spectator.
The situations are the same. And I said, either you like one side, you're supposed to like, if you agree with the attacker, then you got to agree with Chud and him and Karmelo. If you think that can't nobody,
you got to tie Chud to Karmelo though, but because see, I think that's what's mistaken.
Them folk caught Tommy out in the YouTube streets and did a drive-by. That's what I'm gonna do to Tanya when I catch her out in these YouTube streets. Tanya ass be at home too. She much like me, she be at home. So she don't really be out in these YouTube streets. I only see her in my chat and truth chat. I be looking everywhere. I don't see her nowhere. White people go home. They go do what they gotta do, and they take their white ass back home. That's Tanya. But if I ever catch you in these streets, pow, you better watch your back. What's up, Buttercup?
The guy came up to Chud, was mad at Chud. Chud wasn't bothering him. Y'all keep on skipping that part. If Taz, if you're in public, I can't just walk up to you like we do with your wife and kids, trying to get one off.
I don't know if that's necessarily true though, Tim. Again, I don't know. But again, it's so many different motherfucking stories and narratives out here. But the latest one I heard that was like in the prosecutor's shit was that he walked up to the guy asking him how did he like his suit and shit of that nature. I don't know if the guy just saw Chud and was like, "Hey motherfucker, you better not try that shit with me, nigga." I mean, we do know black people. This is plausible. He could have, but I don't think it happened that way. I think Chud actually was doing his normal shtick, just like, "Hey, how do you like my suit?" Yada yada yada. The small talk, and dude was like, "I ain't with this shit. Leave me the fuck alone." That's the version that I heard. I could be wrong.
Oh, you like that dude?
We got that, Tommy.
And you supposed to let it happen.
My bad. Y'all, do me a favor. Just hold down 1 second. Let me get Clue in the conversation because Clue ain't even spoke yet. My fault, Clue. Go ahead. Get in there right quick.
What's going on, Taz? My issue with you is what you said on the Fatty stream.
Your issue with me?
You said that
you said
that Karmelo shouldn't do any time. That's my beef.
Right. Yeah, I was meeting his argument of his argument, I think, was he should have got the death penalty. And so to be honest, I was meeting him where he was. You know what I'm saying? Once you start saying shit like that, we're not. I absolutely am. If you're gonna tell me he should
Sir, you did say
let me finish what I'm saying.
He should go free though.
Right. And I'll argue from that position. If you sit up here and tell me he deserved a death penalty, I'll argue from the position he shouldn't have even been guilty. He shouldn't have got no time.
See, that's what I was just saying. Social media is just a big fucking show. Niggas say shit just to be contrarians and it gets old. Well, because you said he should get 99 years, I'm going to say he shouldn't have got no time. I'm going to be just as ignorant as you because, hey, we trying to get a viral moment and we just trying to argue for the fuck of it just cause.
He can't argue from that position, and neither can you.
That's not what you said on Fatties.
Well, what did I say?
Go free. Quote, he should go free. That's what you said.
Right. So I'll say this tonight so you can hear me again. He should go free. Now, what are you saying?
Okay. Why should he go free? He committed a crime, sir.
Because someone walked in front of him, stood over him, pushed him, and put him in jeopardy. And he defended himself. That's why he should go free.
In jeopardy of his life or in jeopardy of getting hurt?
Yes. The way I view a situation of a young man being under a tent with a bunch of white, you got to make sure you're listening. The way I view a young man being under a tent with a bunch of white boys, yes, his life is potentially in danger if they just.
Why in the fuck would you go under the tent if you ever feel like your life is going to be potentially in danger around these white people? Why take your black ass over there in the first place if you feel like, hey, at any given time, these white people may turn on me and put on their KKK hoods?
Tried to stump him out. That could happen, yes.
Race.
And why would he go?
Race with you. So this is about race with you.
Because he can. Say it again.
It's about race with you, correct, Taz?
I don't.
Yeah, I definitely heard this part. I was screaming at the screen last night where he said, when Tubby said, why did he go? He said, because he can. I was yelling at the motherfucking screen where the jury found him guilty of murder because they can. This should just be cut and dry. If you could give a stupid ass answer like that, then y'all should be able to accept that the jury came down with the verdict that they did because they can, and the judge decided on 35 years, or whoever the fuck decided 35 years, did the 35 years because they can.
I don't necessarily think that point is a.
And we should just all move on to the next motherfucking topic.
About race. That could happen with any race. Any race of young men that's outnumbering one young man, that shit don't look good. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, but that happens everywhere in any high school.
I know. So why is Karmelo wrong for?
Should they kill? Because they're out.
So why is he wrong for being prepared for something that he knows happens all the time?
Kill. Prepare to kill, sir. Prepare to kill.
People get killed.
You gotta relax.
See, the host is laughing at this shit. This ain't no serious topic. This is just argument for argument's sake, to keep the conversation going, to irritate you, to put some money in my pocket. I'm telling y'all know I was a little sour this morning. Y'all could definitely tell my mood has changed. But I was just upset because I listened to this shit last night. I told y'all Facebook, I fucking hate Facebook. All my Facebook friends are dumb as fuck. I hate Facebook. I can't say nothing over there because I hate them niggas over there. Like I think, especially the ones from Memphis, I think these motherfuckers went to resource classes. Most of them didn't graduate. They couldn't pass the TCAP. And I just hate looking at these motherfuckers that every time I open my Facebook up, it be some dumb shit that one of these niggas done said. And I just be getting triggered. So I was in a bad mood this motherfucking morning. I was upset. It was just, that was it. And but I'm in a different place now because I just, we smoke a couple blunts and things of that night and clean up on this rain ass Saturday. And, you mellow out a little bit.
What, them same white people he's supposed to be afraid of?
That shit hurt.
He afraid of white boys, but go under a tent with white boys. I'm afraid of them.
He ain't got to be afraid of them. He ain't got to be afraid of them just to be in the knowledge that he's outnumbered.
But he went there knowing he's outnumbered.
Right.
Everybody.
He changed it. He ain't got to be afraid. But you just said he could be afraid for his life because he outnumbered by white boys. That you can't win with niggas.
ran
And he carried a knife just for that.
No.
you
Everybody
can't, that's what you can't prove right there.
Y'all
can't
claim
prove
he was
why.
standing over him, and not one person who testified
Tommy,
said he was standing over him. That never happened.
Huh? So,
No,
how,
not one person
how
said
did he lunge at him? If you're not in front of him, how is he lunging at him? How do you get in front of him to lunge at him?
Down and was standing over top of him. That never happened.
So how did that happen, Tommy?
What do you mean that didn't happen? That testimony was never given. How it happened was this: he was sitting there with his hand when he told him, "You gonna have to."
I don't like how he keep laughing. I would be irritated because I'm like, bro, this shit ain't funny. It's a nigga dead and somebody in jail, and you just saying shit to get a reaction. I don't like, he constantly keep giggling. That's irritating me a little bit. I didn't notice this shit last night.
Get up out of here. He put his hand inside of the bag while sitting there on that table and said, "Do something." When dude tried to grab him, he stabbed him right in the chest from a sitting position.
And the crazy part is the man came up and said, hey, I don't think Karmelo Anthony was being treated fairly in this trial. He said that. He said, I don't think he got a fair shake. I don't think he should be doing 35 years. But he's the bad guy for saying, well, I think he's guilty still, but I don't think he's guilty 35. Same thing I said. He's guilty, but 35, I never would have guessed. I thought they would probably say 15, to be honest. I thought they probably would have given 15, seeing as he's young, all of them factors in.
Right. So if he's sitting in,
happened, though.
I want to make sure we're clear. If he's sitting and Austin is standing, what are you contesting?
No. I'm saying he was on one of the stand-up tables that you put with the like the food and stuff on it. So it's a high table. So they were face to face. That's how he got him in the chest. He wasn't standing over him.
No, he said no. The testimony is that Austin leaned in.
Oh, again, ain't none of us read the transcript, and we just going off motherfuckers who was in the courtroom that was in there for 8 goddamn hours, and they came out every 4 to give us an update. They may have left some shit out. I don't know nothing about no table or what bro talking about. I don't know. We have to read the guy. I think Tommy gonna pull the transcripts up if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he leaned in by if I'm trying to talk to you, but I don't want to get up because I know if I do that, you can put your thing is to push me back now. So I do like this, just like even while I'm on the seat when I lean toward the camera.
That don't make sense. That don't make sense. If I'm sitting down, I'm sitting down, how are you sitting down in front of me leaning in? That don't make sense, Tommy.
Girl, you lean towards them. When you're talking to your kids or you talking to another person, you lean like this. We all know that stance. When you lean in at somebody like that, to get them told.
And they're sitting down?
It don't matter where they are. That's what you
it matters. It matters, Tommy.
No, I'm telling you, he was sitting on a table and it was a high table.
It's not a table. These aren't tables. These aren't tables. These aren't tables, Tommy. They're on bleachers. The bleacher seat.
Testimony said no. They were the testimony said they were under the tent.
Yeah, the tent is over the bleachers though. So you got like the bleachers, and then the tent sits on the bleachers. So everybody ran from the field up under the tent to get under the tent. So even when the testimony said it's an awful lot of people up under the tent, I hate when other people from other schools be under our tent. But
do you understand that? Does that sound like the other guy had a right? If they saying leave what we've put up, does he have a right to stay there? Just
at that point, I mean,
yes.
Technically, yes. He has a right.
The words you used was right. He has a legal right to stay there. Yes,
he definitely has a right.
No, hold on.
Out of the rain. So, and
hold on. There's different things where when somebody says a right.
We got to remember
where y'all say he got a legal right. How come there wouldn't be trespassing? It's the other school's tent, so it's technically their property. They ain't want him under there. Why would he have a legal right to trespass? Because wouldn't that be trespassing? I just ask it. I don't think anybody asked this in the panel last night, but wouldn't that be trespassing?
Where was he before the rain started?
But y'all said that somebody that was his friend invited.
Where was he before the rain started? And where was he after he stabbed him? In the damn rain. Because if it wasn't raining anymore and he was asked to leave, why the fuck did he just leave? It ain't raining no more. We do know right after stabbing him, he took off. So if it was raining, he could have got wet. If it wasn't raining, he could have just left.
Him there, so it would have nothing to do with the rain.
No, it was the rain.
You said he was pre-invited.
Nobody goes really under the tent until the rain starts. Once
No,
the
I'm
rain
saying
starts,
didn't y'all say he was
everybody goes under
invited?
the
Yes
tent.
or no? Is that
Yeah, he got invited. Like somebody called him. They said somebody called him over there.
That's not what I'm saying. So if he was pre-invited, it had nothing to do with the rain.
No, I think it was. I think that
if I was pre-invited to your house, I can't say the only reason I'm on your porch is because it's raining.
Nah, it could be the same thing though. If I'm standing looking around and everybody else is coming under the tent and you see me, you go, hey, and I jog on under there, get up under the rain and holler at you. That's
and what do you do then if you're pre-invited to come up under my porch and I tell you get off my porch?
Now, I had said all along that he was going to be found guilty. I was hoping that he got manslaughter, but like I said, I never would have guessed that he would have gotten 35 years. Like they sentenced this nigga like he had a prior juvenile record, like he was just a damn problem child. Like he got no fucking leeway for his first time ever, and it still was I still think it was a heat of the moment thing, even though he could have left. I still think it was a heat of the moment thing. I don't even think he meant to stab it, to be honest. I think he probably just meant to scare the nigga, and it went too goddamn far. What it do, Gibbs? That's because I don't know. I don't know. Is it Gibbs? I don't know if it's trespass. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But they said he got a legal right to be there, and I'm just doing like the host. I'm being contrarian to be contrarian, but that's not technically being contrarian. I'm just saying, like, if somebody asks you to leave their property, which is technically the tent is the school property, or like the locker room, would it be trespassing? Or does it have to be an adult to tell you to leave for it to be considered trespassing?
But you don't tell me nothing. You invite me, and then you let all your homeboys start telling me to get the fuck off.
Yes, somebody at my house invited you to my party. You got here, and I told you get off my porch.
No, hold on. It's not your house. This is that person's house too.
Cool. Somebody invited you to the pit. We have a Corvette meeting. We doing it.
You brought me under your folks, and then you gonna act like you don't know me
and
when
then
your folks start tripping on me.
The folks say I don't want you in here. It's the same thing when I go somewhere. When I go to a pro-black meeting, if the people who run it say I didn't invite you, even if Mike invited me, I ain't gonna sit there and argue with the people who running it or other people.
But that's the thing.
I'm
the moment somebody put their hands on you,
Y'all, somebody slow auntie come up here, and it's gonna be the funniest shit ever. I don't know. Y'all just gotta hear her. I think she makes some good points, but she talks so slow, I don't remember. Like, she talks so slow, I had to leave and come back.
But he has the
right to be there.
You don't have to leave. And if you decide you're going to sit down and do nothing, the moment somebody put their hands on you, how you handle that is on you. The same thing with Chud. If a nigga decided, let me tell you, that's the same thing for Chud. At the moment,
I agree with old boy, but that's a two-edged sword. I agree. If you sitting there minding your business and somebody hits you, nobody can tell you how to respond. But as I said this morning, with nobody telling you how to respond, and you respond the way you want to, and the law deems it illegal, you can't be mad if you then are convicted and sentenced for acting the way that you wanted to. It's a double-edged sword. You're absolutely right. You can lash out. Can't nobody tell you how to fight. If you punch me, I can shoot you. There's nothing stopping me from shooting you if you punch me. But what will the law say? Good evening, Sister Terry Clarence. How you doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, it's a slow-talking auntie coming, Leah. She irritated everybody on the panel. Go ahead.
See, what had happened was the New York Knicks won the championship.
Oh, that's why the fuck you called me. I told y'all, niggas, all New York niggas is coming out the woodwork. John Frank gonna pop up in a minute if he ain't outside live. I should have known. I had already did my congratulations and set it off for the Knickerbockers.
I'm gonna call you to say that because you said that's what I was gonna do.
I
So
hope
I
they
ain't gonna
getting
make
their
that no
ass whooped in San Antonio like they did them Spurs fans in New York. You had on the Spurs fan, they was whooping their ass. So seeing as how
Man,
the
New York
Knicks
is
fans,
turned.
seeing as how the
New
Knicks
York-
fans are in San Antonio when they won the championship, hopefully they getting their ass whooped. Spike Lee, all of them.
Spike Lee too old. I saw Spike Lee. Spike Lee 100 years old. They need to leave him alone. Don't bother Spike.
I know ain't
Don't
nobody
do
gonna
this.
fuck with Charles Oakley. He was there. Ain't nobody fucking with him still. And he's 60. Don't
Man, let me tell you something. That's the only thing I hate that they won in that city when they won. But baby, when they get back there, it's on.
Oh yeah, the parade is probably going to be Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. All right, that's all I want. I fuck with you. Hey, y'all.
She don't even watch no basketball. It's about the Knicks won. Now she's a Knickerbocker.
Actually, I was asleep when they won. I got woke up with hollering and screaming because he done bet $1,000. He done won $1,000. So
I'm glad I did not bet no money because I would have been upset. Because again, the Spurs blew four motherfucking games. They blew 4 games. They was winning every motherfucking game and lost.
Why do you?
Because I almost bet on that shit. But this loss stung. Spurs gonna be back in the finals next year. Might be Spurs versus Knicks part 2. They gonna get their revenge.
They're good to me. Yeah, they're good to me. No, but they
gonna get their revenge. That's gonna hurt them. Wimby crying like a motherfucker. He gonna be in the gym all summer. The rookie, the Harper nigga, they gonna come back good.
I did not know this dude was playing for his dad was a coach and everything. I think that's just lovely.
Mark, I won't say it's scripted. You had a veteran team playing against a whole bunch of niggas in their early 20s. They young and they fresh, but them old niggas know how to play dirty and how to play effective. That's why they didn't panic when they was down 22 like a young team would.
They came back, they was losing. All of that, they was losing.
Yeah, they did that. They did the same exact thing to the Cavaliers. That's why I'm like, oh, this is an old veteran team. These niggas know all the moves. They know all the holes and shit. Can't beat experience. We just saw that we just saw Illinois win with a whole bunch of 23-year-olds while the rest of these teams putting out 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. And Indiana won with a team full of grown men. New York Knicks have a team full of grown men. Ain't no rookies on their goddamn team. Busta Rhymes, Styles, P, Fabulous J. Oh yeah, they finna cut up.
All right, I'm talking to you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
All right. NLE Chop is a Memphian. He ain't going no goddamn New York.
The moment you touch him, you better understand what could happen when you put hands on somebody.
Well, that's all I wanted. You said you're being fair. Thank you. That's all. I just want you to be the people to be fair. You called it one way and you said that guy deserved the same thing. I can't argue with that. That's all. At least I know you're being fair. You got people in here that saying, no, Church, he had videos he didn't like, so he should have took their ass.
Wait, hold on. I'm not gonna say that. Hold on. I'm not gonna say he deserved. Because like at the same time, but what I will say is you got to know the consequences of smoke.
Antagonizing random black people in the streets, and he deserved whatever the fuck.
He had the right to do it, but y'all just right.
Right,
he's talking about the black dude.
He's saying that the white dude is at fault. He's saying the white dude is at fault for making the video.
I'm trying to tell you why it's a horrible analogy because Karmelo was not under that tent and with its sole purpose to try to antagonize crackers and talk about look at all these crazy white people out here. Look at all this, that, and third. That ain't what happened.
Chud was at court. He wasn't up there trying to film nobody because he didn't have no footage. He was.
That's the $1 million question I have about Chud. Because I'm in Tennessee, you can't take no guns in the courthouse. So his business at the court, he had to have finished his business at the court and walked back to his car and decided to come out filming that he had his pistol on him. Because he didn't handle no business in court with a pistol on him, none whatsoever. So he just wasn't no happenstance. If he was in court, he didn't have the pistol. If he wasn't in court, that means he was there to fuck with some people with a pistol on him. This nigga named Chud the Builder, though. That is a stupid fucking name. What the fuck does he build? Racist comments?
In court.
He kept a camera with him. He kept a camera with him.
He did not film that interaction at all.
No, he didn't film that interaction, but he
filmed it. Sure did.
No, it's not arguing for Chud. It's arguing for self-defense because that's what we're saying happened in one case. And so in one case, Karmelo was pushed and he stabbed and killed somebody. Chud was hit and he shot a nigga 5 times. That's self-defense, ain't it? If you allowed to stab somebody for pussy you, surely you can shoot somebody for whooping your ass. Surely it's self-defense. It can be take Chud name out of it and put anybody in that situation. It could be fucking Jadakiss. Put Jadakiss in that situation. Should it be self-defense if dude was whooping Chud ass and Chud shot him? Because that's what we're saying for Karmelo. Hey, he ain't had no business pushing you, putting his hands on you. You had the right to defend yourself.
Since out there all said that he was doing the same shit off camera. Off camera.
Leave that man alone. Why would you walk up to him and say anything?
He did. He said something to them.
But regardless.
Yeah, and from my understanding, Chud went up to dude asking him about his suit and all that. That's why dude let him know, I got PTSD, and if you think you're gonna do to me what them other niggas did, or what you've been doing to them other niggas, you got the wrong one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a whole bunch of different shit going on about the Chud story too. He definitely got charged and he has not made bond. And that racist ass white judge in Tennessee is making sure that it's hard for his white ass to get they making sure that his white ass is not gonna make bond easily. He told that man he got to go to 10 different bonding companies if he want to bond out. He can't just take all the money, the 100,000 to one place. You got to find 10 different ones to take a $10,000 payment from them. Racist motherfucking system. And that's another thing I don't understand. When we talk about the system don't give us justice, but I got to keep going back to Rick Chow. That racist system, when Rick Chow killed that black boy, since y'all bringing race in it, when he killed that black boy, that system was so racist that they found that Chinese motherfucker and they charged him. They found he broke the law. They charged him. They indicted him, and they ain't give him no bond with their racist ass. That's how racist the system was. They locked him up and didn't give him bond for 3 years. They racist motherfucking asses. It's the system's fault that a jury of his peers said not guilty. But y'all want to blame it on the system that actually locked this motherfucker up for 3 years.
If you gonna go up and say something, do anything, just understand what you're doing.
Thank you.
When I go up to somebody, I'm expecting a response.
Thank you.
I'm not ducking your response.
Thank you.
If I know you, you got something, I'm gonna handle it.
If you're antagonizing the situation, yes. If you're going there being antagonistic, whatever the fuck happens, that just happens. But that ain't what happened with this situation. Karmelo was not being antagonistic.
You don't even have to be antagonistic these days. Niggas is just throwing off their rocker and they may be having a bad day. And you just, the slightest thing may just fucking trigger them. So you ain't got to be antagonizing a nigga. You could bump into him accidentally and shit'll just go left. You could cut in front of him. Like, especially like, I don't know, the fucking, for a minute, the expressway shootings had cut down and the motherfuckers kicking back up. Just on the expressway shooting motherfuckers.
He just wanted to get out the rain.
You kind of are when you tell somebody, put your hands on me and see what happens. At that point, you really are.
If motherfuckers acting like they're going to put their hands on him, that's a natural response. Don't put your hands on me.
It's not mine.
That's mine. Don't put your fucking hands on me. If you're approaching me aggressively,
before I give you a
Everybody's response is different. That's why it's called fight or flight. No, I'm saying they're calling the system racist, but that same racist system they could have declined to even charge him. That's what I'm saying. When he shot dude in the back, they could have did that investigation that night and said, we find that you was defending you and your son, no charges. But they didn't. And it's not me saying it. These people are saying because that the Asian got off because a jury of his peers acquitted him, that the system is racist. They don't like our people. They don't care about our people, is what these people said after he was found not guilty. They don't care about these black people. The black boy gunned down, but the same system y'all are calling racist pressed charges in the first place. We gotta let the legal system play its course.
Whatever the case may be.
Again, I think the prosecutor did a great fucking job in that case. He just happened to lose, but he did a good fucking job.
And you look like you're about to do something, don't put your fucking hands on me.
Before I give you a chance to fight me, I'd leave. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to stab somebody. I'm not going to stab somebody over being under a tent.
History shows if you got money, it don't matter what color you are. That's what history shows.
That you chose. That's other options. The other option is stand your ground. The other option is stand your ground, but apparently that don't apply with black people.
It doesn't when you stab an unarmed person. I can't believe y'all are saying this. He's unarmed.
So
okay.
And when he put his hands on him. He put his hands on him. Yes or no?
And the overall point I was making is niggas need to stop screaming racism at everything, because if South Carolina and those people were so fucking racist, as I said, Rick Child never would have been charged and held without bond. So that wasn't a case where it was racist. That was just a case where the people disagreed with the state, the ones that locked him up. The racist state wanted to have him locked up and wanted to have him found guilty. Citizens said, nah.
Hands on him. Did he put his hands on him? Yes or no?
He's right. He doesn't care. Not one person. This jumping y'all keep saying happened.
No, I didn't say nothing about jumping. I didn't mention nothing about jumping. All I said, I asked one simple question. Did he put his hands on him?
There's not one witness that said what you said happened.
Did he put his hands on him? That's all I'm
There's
asking.
not one witness that said what you're saying happened.
All of the witnesses wanted him to leave. You didn't peep that.
Man, did ass was facing life. That nigga coming home next year.
So why would there be a witness that would say that?
Wait a minute, hold on. So you're saying white people you're saying white people and the person who invited him are incapable of telling the truth. I just want to make sure of this.
That's what I'm telling you. All of the people that
Dante Starworth killed the nigga. I don't even think he did a year in jail. I could name several black athletes that kill motherfuckers. Some got a lot of time, like Henry Ruggs. He been in jail damn near 5 years, and they just denied his parole. But he gets to go back up for parole in May, where he probably gonna get out. So yeah, if you got the money, it's colorblind sometimes. You see, but Melly still. Yeah, it was weak, but it was the federal government. Niggas don't normally beat the feds. They tried to get them. They tried to railroad this man for his bitches buying dick. He didn't buy the dick. They ain't say Puff Daddy about one hoe. He did not hire one prostitute that was a female to come fuck him, suck his dick or nothing. His hoes was freaky. And he went to jail? But whatever.
was there, the witnesses were all up against him.
So I surely wouldn't have been there.
I don't, bro. You got. I don't think
it's insane now.
Hold on. No. Like,
I think Yellow Beezy gonna beat it. Yellow Beezy is down there in racist Texas. He been out there for He been on bond for damn near 2 years for murdering Mo 3 with that racist ass state down there. They gave his ass bond. That's what I'm saying. Like people pick and choose when they wanted to say the system is racist. The nigga that allegedly killed Mo 3 is out on bond, been out on bond, just going around making music, doing concerts, fucking hoes still. But if he get found guilty, oh no, they railroaded him. But then it's gonna be people saying Mo 3 side got justice. The reason they're not saying it's racist because his black parties involved all the way around.
All of them hated him.
You ain't never been in a situation, bro, where you kind of realize some funny shit going on?
Yes, when I was in Harlem, that's why I left.
But Tommy, you being a hypocrite right now. I'm gonna tell you
The
why.
spidey sense tingles.
When Trayvon Martin was murdered, and I've been watching you for years. We even debated each other a couple times. You had a song and went in on Trayvon Martin and was talking about the family and everything. He was unarmed. You was talking big shit. Man, you was arguing about it.
Whoa. Here's what I said about Trayvon.
We need more Darren Wilsons in the world. Remember that?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is what I said, and I can explain everything. I don't like when people just say part of things.
Go ahead.
You ask the question. I don't mind explaining it. I said the same thing that me and Dark Side were saying. If you do this, then this. What they said happened, and you can see the marks on that man. So how would he have gotten those marks, especially on the back of his head, had he not been hit? The point is, like what Dark Side said, you can put your hands on somebody, but you might need to be careful at what they might do after you do it. This man had all of the injuries on him to show that he had some hands put on him. Karmelo Anthony had not one stretch on him.
Can I respond? Let me respond to what you just said. Now, watch. I'm gonna see if you're fair. I'm gonna see how fair you are.
He's not.
When George Zimmerman made the phone call to police before he encountered that unarmed boy, the police told him to stand down. Do not approach him.
Sir, dispatch is not the police. That's number one. Dispatch is not police. They ain't got no badge.
Did not listen to the police. He went and approached this boy anyway, and a fight ensued, and that boy ended up losing his life. He was told to not approach that boy. So before we even get to the Karmelo Anthony situation, that boy was unarmed. He was fighting with his fists. He didn't have a gun. When he was told to stand down, he shot him. So even when we get to Karmelo Anthony.
Okay, you can go now. You just said that Trayvon wasn't armed. Neither was Austin Metcalf. He wasn't armed either.
I understand the argument, but you can't have it both ways. And like I said, like you like to play both sides.
I don't want to know what the question is. You asked me to be fair. What's the question?
Go ahead.
No, I just want to know. You haven't made the question yet. You said I got to be fair, but I don't know what you're saying. I'm being unfair.
No, I'm saying you're being hypocritical with this stance. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but how so? You have to explain this.
Because you said that Karmelo Anthony.
Two people talking at once.
We were selling shirts that said we need more Darren Wilsons in the world.
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with what I just said at all.
You said Karmelo Anthony was.
You was cool with an unarmed black man getting shot down by the cops.
Hold on. And just like the whole this Karmelo situation, y'all killed a white boy. I'm not outraged. Do you see me being outraged?
No, but what I'm saying,
I was cool. I literally have not. I have not. As a matter of fact, I said these 35 years is injustice. So why would you say this? That's what I don't like talking to people who just won't listen to me and just want to say whatever. No, not you, brother. I said the 35 years is wrong, and he gonna still sit up here and say you was cool with what they did to Trayvon, but what? But I'm not cool with what they did to Karmelo. I'm not.
The reason why I said
why you defending
the reason why I said it was hypocritical.
No, I still can debate logic and facts. Y'all argue emotion because somebody black, we gotta agree with him. Because it's a woman, I can't use these words.
Let's walk it back. The reason why I said it was hypocritical because when I was listening, you said that Karmelo stabbed an unarmed person. And I brought up the situation with Trayvon Martin when the police told George Zimmerman, do not approach him. Stand down, let the police, you called us, let us get him. He went to that boy, and that boy met him. You're supposed to meet force with the force. We knew the boy didn't have a gun. Then we saw, I'm gonna land here because remember, I want you to get this part. We heard the audio of Trayvon screaming before the shot. You can hear him on the ground saying no, right? He shot him. And then they showed him saying he had all the marks. You overlooking the fact that the police told him don't do it. It should have never occurred in the first place. Why I land there.
I'm not overlooking it because number one, the police even stated the person who told them not to investigate is called a dispatcher. They have no police abilities over them, just like that woman who the dispatcher told her she called and it had 911 online, and they told her to go hide in her room. She said, I am not. If they come through this door, I'm shooting them. And they came through the door and she shot them. No one says, the police told you to go hide. No, that's a dispatcher. That dispatcher does not tell you anything. They're not there and they're not the police, number one. Number two, when I said that he stabbed an unarmed boy, the boy was standing in front of him. He approached the boy, same as George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman has marks on him. If they had shown me that Karmelo Anthony was hit, once you start hitting me and I don't have I'm losing at any point in time. I'm trying to save my life now, and I got the marks to prove it. They do the same thing. I can't say my wife was trying to beat me up. I ain't got nail mark on me, but I shot her. Nobody gonna believe that. And they wouldn't believe her if she said, I shot Tommy because Tommy was assaulting me. I got a big bullet wound in my chest, but she don't have a scratch on her face. They would literally tell my wife, ma'am, you shot this man and he has no evidence he put his hands on you. That's all I'm saying.
How close do you have to be though to get stabbed?
If Karmelo had any marks on him,
So let me ask you, Tommy. Let me put this on the table then, Tommy, because you said that sentence was unjust. Let me ask a direct question. Because I broke down about the DA, the judge. The DA got to get voted in by those people. The jury, all those people's from that county. Do you think that he had a fair trial?
If I think it was injustice, then of course I wouldn't think it was a fair trial.
Okay,
it could have been fair if it was injustice. But think about it. If it was fair, then it's not an injustice. It could have been fair. Hence, justice was not served.
Why do you think it was unfair?
I think the verdict was unfair. I wasn't there to hear every objection and shit to say that the actual trial was unfair. I do know that the sentencing was unfair. What'd you say, Gabe?
Oh, I agree. I thought you were settings. I thought you meant sentencing. Sentencing. I'm eating.
Yeah, go back on mute then, because I heard you said something that's
grumble.
Wouldn't have been served. I've watched white people, and I guess I gotta say it. And they claim you're not supposed to do this, but I'm doing it. I just watched too many white people, especially young white people, make a mistake like this, and they don't take 35 of their years from them. They don't. And it's obvious he didn't. He might have meant to hurt him, but he didn't mean this. If he stabbed him several times, I could agree with the 35.
Let me add this to the table then, Tommy. The reason why I'm saying that, because we got a template that happened in Belton County 2 hours up the road from Collin County, right? Case in Allison. Case in Allison got into the fight with Jose Ramirez.
Say, dude ain't looked this up at all. He just saw a meme. See, when I saw the meme, I actually decided to look this shit up and get some background on the damn case. And he's not gonna mention any of the shit that actually got the jury to say, nah, the dude was kind of like a bad person. But yeah, they seen that meme and they ran crazy.
Here's what you can't get around. Even before they even knew each other existed, or made eyes with each other, what's the first thing that's wrong in this picture? The kid had a knife or a weapon on him at a school event. And in any county, any school district in this country, that is you get expelled for that shit.
But Gears, the dispatch can't give you no lawful order. It's a damn suggestion. They just getting the police to you, but they can't tell you what to do. They can't.
Now you take that
it's a suggestion.
Knife, you take that knife out before any of this even happens. The worst that can happen is what? Two track teams brawl. All right. Then you have suspensions and people kicked off teams and things like that. But these kids live. That knife beforehand, that kind of did him in, I think. Before anything else, there's no racism. I don't think people being racist. I don't think the kid was trying to kill him. But people are looking, can't look past, or actually not even looking at the fact that this kid had a knife beforehand. If he was a smart kid that had good grades and never got in trouble, why does he have a knife at a track meet? That baffles me.
I think he's an habitual knife carrier too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he should have had, been getting the years he's going to get, but goddamn kid, That's one like a stupid ass
But
mistake.
then all these people are talking about Carmelo gonna get out on appeal. Man, it could be 3 motherfucking years before he get an appeal. That's why I don't know what's going on, Gears.
What's going on, man? So my point in talking about the dispatcher is not saying the dispatcher can give you a lawful order, but if you call in 911, that means you have an emergency, right? And they are there to give you guidance on your emergency until the police arrive. So if they tell you call them with an emergency and they advise you not to engage with a person, the police will handle it. And that's why you calling me, because you need our services, and you go and eventually kill a motherfucker, then you just jumped in some shit that you had no business engaging in.
But you can't say the police told you not to do it because that's not the police, that's the dispatcher. I get what you saying. But like I said, it's a suggestion that the dispatcher said. That's why he gave the example of it was a lady calling the police talking about somebody finna bust in my door, and the dispatcher told him to go hide in the room in the closet, and she said, "Fuck no, if they come through my door, I'm gonna shoot them," and she did. It's a
Right, but
suggestion. The
that
dispatcher told him to go get in the closet. So you don't have to listen to them. It just depends on the type of situation that's going on, whether you want to take their advice or not. But once you
yeah,
get
but
a
that's
motherfucker's address, you pretty much can hang up.
yeah, but that's a totally different situation. That's somebody who actually fears for their life because somebody is trying to break into their home, right? Versus somebody who was seeking out somebody who was just minding their business. So it's two different situations. But again, I get what you're saying. They not police, even though they work directly with the police. They basically is the police. They not a police officer,
Yeah, at
but
all. They don't,
but
they
they
don't
is
get they don't get them
police.
folk no badge or nothing. They give them some good
They
lunch. They may have they're
I
city
think they do got a
employees.
badge.
That's what they are. Cause my cousin been a dispatcher for like 10 years. They work. They're city of Memphis employees, or they're the city wherever you went. They're employees of the city, just like the police officers are, but they're not police. They ain't even in the same damn. Well, actually, they are. They are in the same building. I just thought about that. They are in the same building because the detective buildings and shit is upstairs. So yeah, they in the police building.
Yeah, I just think it's a bad argument to say that, you know, the dude Zimmerman sought out Trayvon, and Trayvon lay hands on him. You know what I'm saying? He was walking him minding his business. So I don't get the argument that, oh, you can see actual physical marks of him uh being beat up by Trayvon or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he was
Well, I guess
justified in shooting him.
I'm guessing. I don't. The story is so fucking old. I don't remember. But I'm guessing Zimmerman walked up to him, asked him what the fuck he was doing, and Trayvon started whooping his ass. You can't do that. You can, but that's what he was saying. He was like, apparently he was getting his ass beat enough that he felt like he should shoot him. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember. I don't remember the thing. I know the phone call. He saw me, looked suspicious. He called the police. Then he got out and went to approach him. Now, I don't remember what happened after that. Fighting, to killing. I don't know why dude brought Trayvon up anyway. That's the crazy part about these conversations. We can't ever just stick to that particular case. We got to go find every case in motherfucking American history to compare it to. And then we get thrown off on a whole bunch of other shit instead of focusing on goddamn it Carmelo. Now this is
Well,
Goat Biters. He's live now talking about the baby shaker that was initially came out as the spokesman for Karmelo. The Goat Biters. I don't know where the fuck I know him from. I've heard the name before. We go by Taz though. Tell me just join the panel.
you
But
talking
like
about
I
that's
want to
Taz.
say, yeah, he be on fatty shit. That's what it was. I had seen him yesterday on fatty with Andrew Wilson and Myron them. And so he was reacting to it, and then they got into, and Tommy ended up coming up. But now this wasn't his.
Yeah,
This wasn't his
that's
jet label.
Taz exclusive. He been on YouTube for a little minute.
Yeah, I know him and Angry Man be going there all the time. He be over there with Fed in them. Yeah, the baby shaker. Dude is a convicted baby shaker. The one that was the spokesman for the Anthony family. Now they saying he may have been setting them up for failure, but I think dude probably just watched the lead attorney video. Dude wasn't on the family side for that long. But what do you think about what Charleston Whiting did, Gears?
Oh, that's it's to be expected. I'm surprised he did it that soon, but it's to be expected. That dude is a coon. He's a clout chaser. He'll do anything to stay in the loop, keep people talking about him.
That's what I
Yeah,
said
that's
earlier.
to
I
be
was like,
expected. I don't even know why people jumped out. I knew he was full of shit. I knew he was full of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with niggas like that. They want to be anti-black, and then they want to act like they pro-black. It's just like a little flip flop, just a little game they be playing with people and shit.
yeah, he be rage baiting for real.
Yeah, dog's a clown.
He was on a total different side of this when it first came out. I ain't changed my stance except for saying, hey, this sentence was too goddamn harsh. And I think negligent homicide should have been on the table. Should have had the first degree manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide.
It happened. They just sentenced him last year, right? So they had a case law on the template. They gave Karmelo Anthony 35 years, but they gave Casey Allison 10 years, where his was premeditated because he had a fight and he went and wrote text messages about what he was going to do. Came to the
It wasn't premeditated. They had been fighting amongst
You was
each
going
other
for the Knicks, man. Fuck the Knicks.
They had been going back and forth. They were supposed to fight outside. Dude caught him in the bathroom and locked him in the bathroom. Dude and his friends was known for jumping motherfuckers. They had alleged that he had pulled a gun out on him at a prom party 2 days prior, but then there was witness testimony that said it wasn't him that pulled the gun out. He's bringing this case up. He don't know nothing about it other than what he saw on a motherfucking Facebook meme. And the jury, they had 3 options in that case. They had criminally negligent homicide, which is what he got convicted of. And the judge was like, I'm going to give you 10. The judge took everything that you just said. The judge took all that into consideration and gave him 10. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Karmelo let the jury decide in his case. After they found me guilty, I wouldn't have let them motherfuckers decide. I would have gave it to the judge. The judge would have leaned in into prior history and all the other shit, not the jury. I had muted you, Gills. You were talking to somebody about the Knicks in the background.
School the next day and killed that Mexican boy, and that white jury had sympathy and didn't even charge him with murder. They charged him with criminal neglect.
That's
and he was supposed to get 6 to 18 months. The only reason why he got the 10 years because the judge put the enhancements on it because he actually had a real knife inside of school. So
and it's still only 10 years. That's 25 less than Karmelo.
Right. So, but this is what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is when people say it's not about race, this was clearly racist. This was clearly.
It wasn't about race, because in other words, unless you said, well, I guess you're gonna say they don't care about Mexicans.
Well, hold on, but I'm not one who did.
That judge apparently didn't care about no race because he gave dude the maximum time of what the jury convicted him of. He didn't have a bench trial where the judge decided this shit. 12 people did. He just gave the sentence. They said, we don't think it was first degree. We don't think it was manslaughter. It was criminally negligent homicide. And I think they said that shit they'll carry like 2 to 3 or some bullshit like that. And the judge stretched it to 10. with his racist ass. George Macon experience. If it was such a racist situation, don't you think the judge would have given him probation or a year or somewhere on the lower end of the scale instead of the max if it's about race? Because, I mean, he wouldn't want the white boy to do no time because if he's racist, he want his white KKK brother out. Why give him 10 years when you can give him home confinement? Which we've seen happen before in some murder cases. Niggas get home confinement.
The first thing I said when they said the jury has no black people on it, I said, that should be a problem right there. Because there is no way you can say this boy was judged by his peers and not one of the people on the jury looked like that guy who's defending himself. That isn't fair.
And if the victim is Mexican, if we bring a race into it, that's probably why he only got 10.
I don't think peers means they have to be the same color as you. I could be wrong because I don't know everything, but I definitely don't think this how peers goes at all.
Years. But I want to go to another Mexican, Eddie Parra. Eddie Parra was a student at the Memorial High School. He testified under oath. He did not ask Karmelo to leave the tent. So you have a student that is at Frisco Memorial High School, that's the name under the tent, that's telling Karmelo not to leave.
What is that? What are you saying?
That Karmelo has no right to be there?
I feel cheated because we couldn't see this shit now. I don't like to listen to the other people to come outside and tell me something. They could have miswrote something. They could have forgot something.
I don't remember arguing that. I said arguing the fact that if a person says, if they're telling you this ain't your school, get out. And you had already been told, see, it's like y'all brought up Chud and everybody else. They got previous things. He got previous times they've told him to not bring this knife to the school.
Now I'm talking about Eddie Parra. Eddie Parra is a student at Frisco Memorial High School.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why are you?
I explained it the truth, Naya. The brother is not going to be a credible witness because it's his brother that died. So anything that he says is going to be biased towards his brother in the first place. So he wouldn't be a credible witness. And then you open him up to the defense being able to tear his ass up on the stand.
Oh,
are you saying
he did not tell Karmelo to leave?
I get it. So why are you saying this? You're saying Eddie Parra didn't tell him to leave.
Yeah, you're saying because people are telling Karmelo to leave.
They said the other people told him. So Eddie Parra is one guy who said I didn't tell him to leave.
Oh, he's just one guy?
Do you have more? Tell me.
I don't care. Could that lead to the confusion? Could that lead to some confusion in Karmelo Anthony's rationale?
We cannot have a real conversation. If I said the word 8855 and somebody else said, so you said 8855, it don't matter. But you said
no,
it.
I have a student at Frisco Memorial that says it's okay for Karmelo to be under that tent.
But if there's more, tell me. So I'm saying, so there's one said he can stay, but there are multiple who said he can leave. Multiple. Who would this one person be? If 30 people told me to get the hell out of the house, but one person said stay, I'm gonna listen to the one. Even if it was the one person's house, I'd leave. You're saying Eddie Parra told him to stay. Therefore, he stayed because of Eddie. And he had a knife saying, if anybody touch me, you about to get it.
It's pretty obvious to me, though, he stayed because he didn't want to leave.
Parra also recalled that Austin Metcalf became defensive because an outsider was in their team space.
It is pretty clear to me that the defense found him guilty because they could.
That's one guy that believed he was an outsider. That's
no,
one
but
guy.
Y'all claim, hold on, but y'all claim. Hold on, Darkseid said it was more than one guy. Darkseid said that all of those people wanted him out. Now, if you want to say it's one guy, I'm with you. If it was one guy, I would agree with you again. If you're saying it was just Austin Metcalf, but that's not what Darkseid said, and that's not the testimony I saw.
Yeah, that's not the
they ran a parade of people up there that kept saying we didn't want him here.
Let me say this to you though, Tommy. I think what happens though, a lot of times you get pushback from us because I think sometimes you play too much, right? I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying it. Because you're not a dummy. I've been watching you for like damn near 12 years. You're not stupid at all. You make the statement that once you found out that it was no blacks on the jury, right? You already knew that the fix was in. So, but you get mad at us when we call out racism and you start talking about the things that we do when you already know how racist these white folks are.
When did I ever got mad at y'all out for calling out racism?
No, listen,
Name the time.
let me land for a minute, and then I'll shut up. Let me land. Don't get emotional. Just try to relax, bro. All I'm saying is we'll call out stuff. You come up and start antagonizing us, but then you're saying the same thing that we're saying, but you antagonizing us for calling them out. That's the part that I'm like. And then you'll say, well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that was racist. You come up and say, well, you want to use all these analogies about what we do in the hood to each other when you unpack it, he had an unfair trial because they was fucking racist because they always have a history of being racist. That's it.
They weren't racist though, motherfucker. Again, the system is so racist that it was a white person that gave him bail when they could have not given him bail. They racist. That there's not one shred of evidence that points to racism in this case other than the victim was fucking white.
Ain't nothing else to it. I'm done there.
You said I attack y'all for calling out racism. That is untrue. I ain't bothered none of y'all. As a matter of
No, I give him one fuck up. After listening, as I said this morning, after listening to my family be dragged for a whole year, me being called racist and shit, I allow him to lash out. The man is still grieving. It's been a year. So I give him a fuck up. Now, if he keep doing it, then that shows who his character is. But I could give him a grieving dad because even after what he and his family felt like was closure, you got the world saying that they racist still, injustice, there was no justice done, yada, 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 all of that. I'd be frustrated too. His son is still dead.
Correct. If you watch this, you got to. Now I had to sit there.
I'm sorry.
You made me listen to you keep characterizing me. That's unfair. I have not characterized you once. You keep characterizing me, mischaracterizing me. So and now I'm not supposed to defend myself after I've been lied on. I have never.
Come on,
you're not going to let me finish. I sit there and let you finish.
No, I'm muting up. Go ahead. I'm muted up.
While you were talking about me personally, but I can't then defend myself.
I'm not talking about you. I said you be trolling us.
You said that I know you know better than that. You smart. I done watched you 12 years, but you be attacking us. You were literally talking about
attacking us. You know you do.
That was a compliment.
You aren't gonna let me finish, then fine. I'll just say what you said is right. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm right. Because you know I'm right.
Just giggling because he like, I irritated him. I done irritated him to silence. Ha 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 ha. Hoes do that.
It ain't even personal. You be going in on us for going in on white people. It's the truth.
If y'all think it makes sense for a person to say something and then say, I'll let you reply, and then as I try to reply, they won't. But I had to listen to them. You know where they get that from? They mamas. They don't act like men because ain't no man gonna say, hey, bro, let me finish. And then you do, and then they won't let you finish. And it's funny as they do it. It's hilarious that they keep cutting you off after asking you that.
You got to talk about mamas. You got to talk about mamas because your feelings hurt. Your feelings got hurt that fast, bro. You got to think about
feelings got hurt. And this is why every time white folks do something,
what mama got to do with it?
Y'all fucking with you. I ain't did nothing to you, man. All I tried to do was answer your ass. This is insane. And then I'm sensitive for trying to have a discussion with black people, and they wonder why people say, man, this is insane. Let it happen because they mess with people who ain't even messing with them. I've been honest this whole time. I ain't bothered nobody. I've just been trying to answer his questions. And y'all think it's
bro, you got the floor, bro. Answer, bro. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man, and talk.
Bro, go ahead and answer, bro. Come on now.
He wouldn't let me. Every time I tried to, he kept.
And this nigga is still giggling like a bitch.
Talking. And he asked me not to do it.
You good, bro. You good. Go ahead.
I have never once bothered any of the B1 people or none of them because they called out racism. I made videos and I was the big dog. I wasn't making no videos about nobody else and surely wasn't attacking them. People was taking my videos and having a problem with what I said. So there was no one that knows of me attacking them because they was fighting racism. You can't name them. So for you to say that is untrue, name the people I was attacking because they was fighting racism, because they was calling it out. Name one.
You were attacking my son. Once you claim niggly bears and all of that, right? Like you are attacking certain groups of people.
So your son is a niggly bear. And who the fuck is that keeps giggling?
I keep it short.
On my own show, I'm hurting their feelings because they watch mine. I didn't bother them. I don't know they exist. I didn't know your son existed. Your son somehow watched my video about a niggly bear and that ruined his day. But the rap music was an attack on your son, which had more.
Let me ask you an honest question. Let me ask you an honest question. Do you acknowledge hate watching?
Why acknowledge?
Do you acknowledge hate watching?
Say it again.
I think it's crazy, man.
Do you acknowledge hate watching?
Oh, so y'all hate watch me? Then I guess that's a thing.
I'm asking you, do you acknowledge it?
No, I'm saying if that's a thing, sure. If y'all hate watch things, I'm sure it is. I guess a bunch of y'all probably watch gay corn and you hate watch it.
No,
you
no,
hate gay corn.
Wait, you wildin'.
I'm asking, would you hate watch it? Would you say I don't like gay people, so I'm gonna watch them do what they do?
So yes, I've absolutely hate watched. I don't watch none of that funny style stuff. So cool. But I'm saying even someone like a chaotic truth, right? I was over there from an aspect of hate watching. What I'm saying is you can't cry when you can be honest with yourself that you antagonize people.
Right. Wait a minute, no. You said I can't cry. When did or are you talking about somebody else? You talking about me? So I make sure I'm answering right.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Okay, I'm not crying. How am I antagonizing a person? Look, again, if you doing gay corn, how
chaotic truth is Labuto. I started out with him. He is definitely a goddamn troll.
Or are you antagonizing straight people by doing it?
Being brought up in here.
I'm saying when you bring up niggly bears,
call me a person who hate watching.
I'm saying you bring up.
Okay, give an analogy.
Hear what I'm saying?
Something else you don't like that somebody's doing. How are they offending you by doing it?
It's simple, making the argument, right? When you make the argument of niggly bears, it's implied you're talking about my son. That antagonizes me.
How?
If he makes a general statement about niggly bears, that's implying that you talking about my son. Nigga, why wouldn't he be talking about you first? Why wouldn't you be considered a niggly bear? Why wouldn't your daddy and your daddy's daddy be considered niggly bears? How in the fuck does it just skip to your son?
Is it? When I talk about niggly bears, who am I talking about?
Black
Just like when I say hair-hatted hooligans, talking about
black women.
No, there's two words at the beginning: a hair hat.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a person in a wig or weave. Hooligan. What's a hooligan? I don't call a woman a hair-hatted hooligan if she walking around with her natural hair and ain't fighting nobody.
Right.
They got to literally be wearing a weave and fighting. Hence, they're a hair-hatted hooligan.
I'm saying don't pretend
fighting in public.
Wait, but don't pretend like you aren't talking about a very specific demographic. When you talk about hair hats, you're not talking about Asian women. You're not talking about white women.
Yeah, because Asian women ain't nobody else in their head.
Hear what I'm saying?
Again, anybody's throwing somebody's hair in their head and going out and fighting in public, why should they be absolved from having somebody say something bad
about
them?
What I'm asking you is, you do agree you're talking about a very specific demographic, correct?
Yes, a hair-hatted hooligan. That is very specific.
Right. So now, there are black women that wear hair hats, right, who aren't hooligans.
And I don't call them that.
That can get lost in your diatribes.
You cannot name one time I've called one this and she was not doing hooliganism. You can't name one. Go ahead. I'll let you name them. Embarrass me.
I used to, all jokes aside, I used to watch your content.
I know. So tell them about the time where I called a woman who was not doing that.
Hear what I'm saying? I used to watch your commentary. I used to find it funny. But yes, you lay down blanket terms. You offend a lot of people, right? Like even with Jeff Metcalf's dad, right? When he says watermelon felons, right? That's a blanket term. Like context is king. So if you don't clarify, I'm talking about this person, that person, and the third.
But I just did.
Wait a minute.
I know y'all niggas got history. I prefer to talk about the topic or debate that. I don't really want to debate this nigga.
I know. I got to go back to 1912 when I was talking about something, and it's supposed to be people I do not know offended by it. And here's the thing: I'm glad that Taz said what he said at the beginning. He said, "I told those people, the dudes, if that dude wants to do that, should leave him alone because he's looking for a response." The thing about us is we're too emotionally unintelligent. I had
listen, though, but hold on, though, but wait, because you said some wild shit in the middle of all that, though. You said some shit like, I can't wait till black people or some shit. What now?
Hold on. I did it on purpose because I heard what you said to that man up on the panel earlier. What did you say? Right. You said because they said something that was too far this way, you said something far the other way. Didn't you say that?
Absolutely.
You said when they told you he should have got the death penalty, you then turned around just to get back at him and said he shouldn't get no penalty.
Absolutely.
So if you can do that, then don't get mad if some other people do the same thing. Because if you're going to say things out of line, I'm going to say it back. I wasn't messing with the people, and I begged them to leave me alone. If they're going to do it, I'm going to say something to bother you, since you don't mind bothering me.
But Tommy, those other people.
I'm just looking for clarification. I don't mind.
I'm trying to offend you just like you're trying to offend me. And I beg you, not you. I'm saying the person. That's when I said it.
Right, no, I got you. I'm just asking because again,
if you responded back and called me, like you said, you don't believe in calling people crispy, but if you realize I ain't gonna stop calling you names, you might call me one back. I ain't gonna sit up here and hold you to what you just said when I didn't hold myself to anything.
Right,
standard. Treat people the way you want to be treated. We can go from there.
But Tommy, let me ask. But Tommy, like you talk as if we like when it comes to this punishment of pain, it's equality. Like a lot of when it comes to these white folks, a lot of our stuff is reactionary. Like you make statements like, well, they can do it, why can't we? Most of our stuff has been reactionary. That's why when you saw there was no blacks on the jury, you automatically came to a conclusion that it would be unfair. That comes from somewhere.
Well, hold on. Just like when I saw it was an overabundance of blacks on the OJ jury, I knew he was getting off.
Why though? That comes from somewhere. Now let's say that though.
I'm being fair. Wait, you just said it ain't fair, but I did call it fair. You cannot have an overabundance. I don't think if a trial is about race, if you know a racial undertone is in that trial, it's unfair to not have both races in it. If I come to a Mexican and it was about race, there should be Mexicans and blacks on that jury.
But look, Tommy, I don't disagree with that. But let's unpack that OJ thing though, because it's not hard. Watch this, Tommy.
There was a person of color on the jury. Y'all gonna accept that motherfucker is black like y'all do everybody else that's the person of color.
Right before that, you had the Natasha Harlan's case, right? Yeah. Where that white judge gave that woman probation when we clearly saw that was cold-blooded murder, right? We saw the racism. We saw what they did to Rodney. They beat the boy down and they let them off. So now, black folks is being reactionary to years and years of unfair trauma. That's a reactionary. So what I'm saying to you is, and this ain't personal, but it's just like when I make the statement, you can get mad at us where it should be like fair is fair, but it's never been fair. We're reactionary to racism. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, let me say something to you. And Cap Tazari can tell you I said this. Now that I understand what you're saying, I said the same thing in a different way. I said this. I said those same white people, I think I said it at the beginning, but I'm gonna explain why I said it. Those same white people who are on Chud the Builder side are against Karmelo Anthony. And if they were for Chud, they should have been for Karmelo. They complained about Karmelo got money from GoFundMe, but they didn't complain that Chud got money from GoFundMe. They thought it was okay for Chud to go around messing with people and then shoot them. But they thought it was wrong for this black kid to be surrounded by the whites and feel like this is my time. I think that here's the problem. A lot of times we as black do exactly what you say. We will judge them and try to be fair. We'll go into the jury of a black person, a white person in general, and we'll say, let's look at the evidence. And then they'll have another case where it's a black person, a white person, and they won't give a shit what the evidence was.
Yeah, that's a weakness for us, though.
I think that's one of the biggest problems we have. Because think about another thing we do. Every time a white boy can shoot basketball, we let him come into the group. He black like us. Every time a white boy can sing, he black like us. Every time we let them in, they get to come in. Elvis get to come in. We teach them how to sing and dance. They ain't teaching us. They ain't asking us. So I see when you say that, we are very nice to but that's why I bring up my situation. Because I keep saying, you'll be nicer to white folks than you be to. We do it to ourselves, though. We'll be nicer to a white person than another black person. White person come in from the hood that ain't from the hood. We ain't checking him and ain't shooting him. Black person had a nerve to come in and he ain't from around here. We gonna rustle him up.
But can you understand the premise behind that?
Tommy, out of that psychological conditioning, you know how we have conversations where they'll tell you, man, don't you go over there with them white folks? They're gonna put a nigga when it comes to hurting a white person, he become a lawyer. He know all the laws and everything. They put like ass up to the jail. We already conditioned and broken to be afraid of them subconsciously. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to white folks, Tommy, they want it one way. That's why I brought up the case analysis thing. That's why I was giving you pushback because, like I said, I felt like you was coming in and taking up for them, but holding us accountable for holding them accountable.
Oh, but I wasn't. Again, the first words out of my mouth was this to be fair. First words. I also am arguing the fact that if you say nothing should have happened, no time, that's crazy at that point.
Yeah, but I was.
Why is that crazy?
I went on that. I'm leaning more toward. I didn't lean that way for the dad's interview. I'm leaning that way After the dad's interview,
I want to know why is that crazy?
I'll answer your question, but he was talking and I can barely hear him.
Oh shit! Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, I think
I can barely hear you too, Blue. Salute everybody. I just want to know why is that crazy.
Well, if Blue don't mind me answering why he get his stuff together,
Can y'all hear me? Is it better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Damn. Fuck. Nah, go ahead. I forgot.
Hold on, Blue. Yeah, let him answer Bobby question.
Yeah, go ahead. I forgot.
I think again, I tried to say it earlier. Here's why I think it's unfair. If you've got no time, because you carried a knife to a place they told you not to, and I got 2 girls. The last thing I would like to know is if somebody
Did they tell him not to?
Yes, they actually told him not to. He got in trouble for having that knife twice. Same one.
At school. That was a different school.
At the track meet or at the school?
Okay, so y'all making excuses for when you carrying this on school property.
Yes,
wait a
because a
minute.
lot of times in
I'm only bringing in the nuance of Texas. I don't know if you ever been to Texas. You know what I mean? Because I'm in Missouri, bro.
Oh, I live in Georgia. We got the great stand your ground laws.
Okay, so if
we can walk, walking at the airport with an AR-15. They
you ain't got to go deep on it because I used to live in Atlanta, so I know about I know about the laws. I live in stand your ground states for this very purpose right here. So if you know about stand your ground laws, then you should be on Karmelo's side because what it states is the threat of, right? Yeah. And what we've seen on the other side, because we only bringing up the cases that have been sensationalized, but you and I both know that there's more cases to where the threat might not necessarily meet in other people's eyes the justification, but you can't necessarily measure what somebody's feeling in that moment. You understand what I'm saying?
And so force doesn't matter.
Right. What I'm saying is proportionate force is only determined from the person perspective of the threat that I'm feeling. You dig what I'm saying? You brought up Zimmerman earlier, unarmed. But the threat that I'm feeling from these fists make me feel like I got to shoot a motherfucker. One more, hold on, real quick.
I was just letting you know I want to go afterwards, but go ahead.
I got you, Tommy. One more thing that you said about sitting up underneath the tent. He has a right because they own the tent, not the bleachers. So in a lot of cases, that's kind of like when you go to a public park, you could put your blanket down on the grass and somebody could literally come set their shit up right next to you. And you can wait, I had this. Yo, you don't own nothing. You either got to get up and move your blanket, gazebo, whatever you had set up, or you got to deal with. Salute to you, cheers to you too. I don't know if that was moonshine. That was a big ass gallon of it. But yeah.
This Dan Aykroyd vodka.
Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to one of the Blues brothers, Chicago native from my hometown. Real quick.
Yeah, I shot part of my movie, The Wild Hunters.
Yeah, they should have ran you up out of there. Real quick.
Them niggas love me.
I should have ran you out of there, but I fuck with
you. See, you up here talking about harming me. See, that's what they tried to
I didn't say harm. I said they should give you a good a cardio workout. You did what I'm saying? Ain't no wrong with raising your heart rate a little bit. Everybody needs that in that. You say what?
You mean like how they tried to do Karmelo Anthony? They're trying to raise his cardio?
And if you would have defended yourself, I'd have been like, that brother was justified. See how we just got back there real quick? See how we just got there real quick? See how we just got back to the truth that quick? See how we just put the shoes on, my brother. Now you got to walk in them.
Go ahead.
Now, you see how quick you just felt? You felt the threat, and now you see how. But I'm saying with the Karmelo thing, George brought up the case, Allison case earlier, but it's more cases than that. Tommy, if you look up, especially in Texas alone. That's why I was surprised at the verdict because me and Chaz were talking about this before they came down. When I was like, well, at the most, I could see him getting 10 years because that's the president that's already been set.
He could have got something.
No, no. Wait. I don't agree with you that he would have got something. I'm just only agreeing that according to if he would have got something, the max that he should have got was per the other cases like him. Where the most extreme I've seen is the case in Allison where he only got 10 years. That's what I'm saying. I do feel like he should have got off, but I was saying if he do get convicted, the most he might be facing is 10 years. To get 35,
we appreciate $1, but we would rather have 10. We appreciate $20, but we would rather have 50. We appreciate $50, but we would rather have 100. We appreciate $100, but we would rather have 200. Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sir.
Somebody has got his 10 years for planning a murder, not even being caught in the midst of a murder, but planning a murder, a person got 10 years. This is where the racism and all that comes in. So,
no, look, I'll tell you, again, I agreed with that. You were just asking me about would I think it was okay for him to have nothing? No, and let me tell you why. For selfish reasons and for societal reasons. I have daughters. Both of them are in school. I would hate that somebody, and thank God nobody's ever done it,
Yeah.
but ever walked up to them or walked up to my mom or walked up to somebody and said, I don't like, you know, what your son doing or whatnot. And my mom be like, you gonna get up out my face and push him, and they stab my mom or my daughters.
But you do agree that kids shouldn't have got.
All I'm saying
Or
is
you walk up in your mom's face and she stabbed that motherfucker like my mama might
Oh, yeah,
do.
yeah,
That's what I was just going to say, Chad. My mama go get the blade out
I'm
first.
agreeing with you. I'm saying I hope that as a civilized society, like I said, I got daughters, and I'm myself. One of my best friends is a dude. I fought. I grew up in an era where I believe that you live to fight another day.
Can I interject
It's
with you,
hard for
Tommy?
me to sit here and say I'm okay with this because it sets this thing called a precedent.
Now, watch
And
this, Tommy.
It's not no
I agree
guarantee,
with
though.
you.
You can't start no shit then say I'm gonna live to see another day.
No, I'm saying I grew up. Did you hear what I said? I grew, and you grew up in that era too. Tad.
But I did. I grew up in the 80s. But listen though, Tommy. You said a civilized society, correct? Yeah. A civilized society wouldn't allow them boys to come kick somebody out and put them in a ring.
Yeah, actually they would. Well, hell, do you see what happened?
Wait.
What happened to Terrell Owens? And he grown when he went to the middle of the star.
Why? No, wait. Listen, he's there. Hold on. Tommy, let me give you Tommy. All right, let me ask you this, Tommy. Oh, wait, Tommy. Let me ask you one. Let me ask you real quick. Have you ever ran track? Hold on, let me ask you. Have you ever ran track, bro?
Yes.
Completely different. Completely different energy from a football game and basketball game.
Correct.
I was on the track team and I played basketball. So when you on a track meet, bro, and you see people that you
Tell that to the nigga throwing the javelin and the nigga throwing the shot put that it's different, and you don't need no aggression. You don't need to be strong to throw a shot put or a javelin or a discus.
from other schools, y'all be slapping five, y'all be like, cause you sitting around for most of the time. Huh?
But you don't do it with the people you ain't cool with.
Wait. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying.
To some of the most.
I don't know. Hold on. Wait. Listen to me, Tommy. I agree with you if there was a prehistory of not being cool with these people. Hold on. Just listen to me, brother. Once it start raining and people just start running to tents, which are in the bleachers, and I just run up under a tent to get up out the rain, which is normal procedure at any track meet that I've ever been to in my life. I'm talking about in Chicago. I've been to track meets. I'm talking about this. I'm from the west side of Chicago, bro. We go when it's rain at the track meet. Everybody up under everybody tents because everybody damn near know everybody. Or even if you don't know nobody gonna be like, get them up underneath my tent because don't nobody over here know you. They might not talk to you. They might be like,
I don't know if no fights ever happened after the track.
I don't never remember a fight at a track meet, bro. Hold on. So my last point is this is my last point, Tommy. If they felt like if those children felt like he shouldn't be underneath their tent, once they approached him,
my brother, you was grown. You said you was raised in the 80s, and you just said you been raised in the 80s. You ain't never seen or heard of no fight at the track meet, which brings the question: if it's normally a non-violent event at track meets, why in the fuck did this nigga have a knife? Nobody's explained it yet.
In an uncivilized manner to put him out in the rain, and he refused. Where they messed up, that's not their. They don't have any duty to do anything beyond that, but go get somebody with the authority to remove him.
They're not deputized. Once we give them the authority to give this kid a command that he shouldn't have to respect, you damn near deputized.
Parr admitted under cross-examination that Metcalf actually shoved Anthony out from under the tent first.
And he came back?
Verbally asked Anthony to leave.
And he came back.
No, he
pushed
him
him
first.
He didn't come back. No,
but you're saying he came back.
The shove led to the stab. The shove led to the
I'm
stab.
trying to make sure. I know what I heard, but I want to make sure he's saying what he's saying. So you're saying the white boy pushed him off from under the tent and told him to get out, right?
No, he pushed him first, and then told him to get out.
I said the white boy. Y'all see how he's playing? I said so. The white boy pushed Karmelo out of the tent and then said, "Get out." Yes or no?
That's according to Eddie Parr's cross-examination testimony.
See, that's what he's saying. That's why you got to hold people to their words. He's saying that's what they said. Y'all can all say no, but that's what
was sitting down.
That's under oath. That's what Eddie Parr said on the witness stand.
Okay, so let me make sure you understand what you're saying. Karmelo was shoved off from under the tent and then told, "Don't come back." What was the next thing that happened?
That didn't
No,
happen.
no, I'm just saying right there.
No, let him
The
answer,
action
please.
is the precedent.
What was the
The
next thing
first
that
action of the shove is precedent.
Oh my God! I just
That
asked you
requires
what happened next.
self-defense.
So
Can
you
we
just
deal with the
what
facts?
happened next?
Carmelo was sitting down. He was
This
never
is insane.
pushed out of the tent. So let's just deal with the facts. He was
I don't know
sitting
what you're
down.
No,
talking
Eddie
about.
Parra
Being
is
pushed out the tent.
factually under oath testifying on the stand that he was pushed out first and then told to leave.
And
That's
yet you won't
testimony.
say what happened next, which is weird.
He got pushed, told to leave, and then that's when he put his hand in the bag and said, "Touch me again and see what happened."
Go ahead, bro. Number 11. Why you won't tell us what else happened?
That's what happened. That's what
No,
happened.
I want. Oh no, Bobby, come on. I want him. He's telling you what Eddie Parra said. Why won't he tell you what the rest of what?
No. Somebody pushed you when you went to that event.
I didn't ask you that.
It mattered to the jury. That's the reason why they chose murder one over manslaughter, because it wasn't explained why it was there. And like I said, if it hadn't been for some track spikes or something, you could be like, that's why he had the knife. He ain't had a knife because he was just looking like, because he was up to no good. And that's what that's what it seems like. He just had the motherfucker because he was up to no good. It's not legal to carry on school grounds. You cannot carry a knife anywhere. Rifles are legal too if you got them at 18, 16, whatever the fuck. But you know where they're not legal at? School. You can't take the rifle to school because it's legal. Back in my day, you used to have to be 18 to smoke tobacco products. You know what you could do at school? Have tobacco products on the premises. So why it's legal, that doesn't mean, why else would you have a knife thin gears? You got a guy saying, hey, I was born in the 80s. I ain't never seen a fight in no goddamn track meet. Why else we have a knife at the track meet then? Did anybody else have a knife? Doesn't matter if he was charged for the knife. They didn't need to add no extra charges. Murder was enough. It was enough. If he hadn't died, they probably would have gotten him with aggravated assault and the thing for the whipping on school grounds and shit of that nature. But murder is the biggest charge. They don't need all the small ones.
New York City, somebody put their hands on you.
This is insane.
What are you doing?
Refuses to
Now he says a multi-purpose tool. I guess it's used for gutting fish and cutting white boys, I guess. I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at that, but it was funny.
What you doing? This is scary. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. I just asked him.
Yes, it's school rules. He wasn't supposed to have it at school. That school rules are at school for a damn reason. It don't have to be law, but there's rules there for a reason. It is so other kids won't get fucking hurt. I just imagine a school full of fucking teenagers walking around with knives and pepper spray and shit. I can't believe y'all grown people are saying this shit. It's school rules ain't the law. What the fuck?
Simple question. It was non-threatening.
I'll tell you what you're doing. You have to defend yourself.
Tommy, that's the slow cousin. So we're not gonna let you. We're not gonna let you beat up on our slow cousin. I just told you what he said next. So move forward, nigga. I'm not gonna let. Hey, Kay, chill out real quick. We not gonna let you come over here and beat up on niggas slow cousins and shit. Deal with the competent adults, my nigga.
And one more
Right,
thing,
shut the fuck up right now.
What would you do?
Ah, damn, nigga. Man, Tommy know what the fuck you doing. That's why he keep on saying, no, I'm talking to cuz. No, I told you what he said.
You know you're goofy. Right.
I didn't know. Now that you say this, that's different.
You're not getting no easy dubs over here, my nigga. It's done. We passed that.
You're trying to run up the score and shit.
Nigga looked at the whole panel and said, no, that nigga right there. No, he ain't one of nah, nigga. You ain't getting the fade with
I want to know. Okay, so this is what I want to know though. What is the source that he's getting that from? Because I haven't even heard that.
Thank you. That's why I was asking him, Taz. But now that y'all tell me, I can't.
We all know that.
I haven't heard it neither. That's why I said.
Okay, we can move on then. Yeah, we can move on.
He keeps saying he know that man first and
Let's
last.
move on, Tommy. Don't run. Let's deal with the facts of the case.
Like he got him on speed dial. Hold on a minute.
See, you want to keep talking to him. See, let's deal with the facts of the case. Kid was sitting down. He wasn't pushed out of the tent, whatever. Right? He was sitting down when the transaction occurred. Right? But again, this kid put his hands on him. Now, my argument is, even in the testimonial, all these different kids saying, yeah, we were all telling him to leave. None of you are allowed to tell him to leave.
Well, I get, but you got to remember what the word you said. You said kids.
Yes. They're not deputized.
Hold on.
I would actually argue, real quick, Tommy, and I'm going to land here.
Being honest, as kids, we told some motherfuckers when we was little, you can't get on the slide today, pimp.
This ain't the same time, but you just said we ain't dealing with the same kids.
I know.
We dealing with a child that's growing up in the state where he's seen multiple people die at the school.
My argument is, if
you understand what I'm saying, different type of child.
My argument is, if you flipped it, those 14 kids, right, had they been black, that's a mob. That's a threat. That's damn near a gang, right? So how do we not understand that if we're being fairly empathetic about how this kid viewed this threat? I'm saying from the testimonial, right? All these people are telling him an unlawful command. Like, y'all a bunch of high school kids. Y'all are goofies. Y'all are not deputized. Y'all can't tell him to do anything. He has the right to defend himself.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't. That's why I said, because of in a civilized society, a man of 50 years old, like I am, who has 2 daughters in school, I don't want the situation to be, because I got one of them that well, I can't say what it is she's doing because I forgot that they get in trouble.
To the point, Tommy. We get it. I know, baby girl, beautiful baby girl. We're not going there. Stick to the point, right? These
No, what I'm
kids
saying
not
is
have
I
the
would hope
authority
that they would
to
never
tell
be
you
in a
to do anything.
situation to where I know these kids argue, that one of them end up dead. I know these kids fight, that one of them end up dead. My best friend to this day is a brother named Courtney Houston. Me and Houston fought as freshmen in school. I fought him. He get mad when I tell the story. I whooped his ass. I beat him good. We're friends now. If he had stabbed me, I'd be dead and he'd be in jail. I would hope that we could solve situations without that. I don't know why y'all.
But we're not dealing with hope.
That we should be able to say this to young people.
You're making it
who the right way like that, though, and who not to, though,
You
right?
have 14 other kids at your 6, right? When you fought your mans and y'all went through whatever y'all went through, he didn't view it as a mob attack.
Then he would have left. I did the same thing in Harlem, and I was a grown man. When I saw I was outnumbered, I just called the police.
Wait, Tommy. But the point, that's my point though, Tommy. You in Harlem. This is the point that I was making when this first got brought up. You and I need to both agree that the cultural experience of growing up in a stand your ground, gun friendly state versus one that is not is a completely different experience, correct?
Yeah.
Tommy. If you was in Georgia, if you was in Georgia, and then you had, thank you, and that's the point that I'm making.
Wait a minute, but you see how easy it is for me to agree with common sense?
Okay,
the best thing that happened to me that day was I was in a state where I couldn't carry.
Correct.
And everybody went home after that.
But right now you even admitting, but you saying
now,
if you were, hold on, real quick. But you're admitting that if you was in Georgia in this situation would have happened, which is very well likely, it could have went a whole completely different way.
I admitted that. That's why I said.
But my whole point is, Texas is that. This young boy he's born and raised in Texas.
That's why I brought up my children. I don't want people at my children's school with weapons. They're kids. They're going to do dumb things.
But
I don't want to lose their life over dumb
Okay, but Tommy, I need you to understand in the state. All right, but Tommy, let me ask you this. I'm in Missouri. I used to live in Georgia. I got people in Texas. In these states, children with knives is a common thing, like a child with a yo-yo, right? A knife in these states, just like a child with a gun. You're dealing with a bunch of people who hunt. You're dealing with people who fish. Right. Them little knives they sell at the corner store, man. This ain't. It's not like he has an illegal weapon. Do you understand what I'm saying? He got in trouble for the knife, yes, but it's not illegal. It's not illegal.
How do you say he got in trouble for the knife? Yes. That should be the end of it. So he's gotten in trouble for having the knife at school once before. Mitigating circumstances, a mitigating factor. But he said it with a straight face. Yeah, he got in trouble for the knife, but Ain't no but.
Hunt, you dealing with people who fish. Look, them little knives they sell at the corner store, man. This ain't. It's not like he has an illegal weapon. Do you understand what I'm saying? He got in trouble for the knife, yes, but it's not illegal. It's not illegal.
If y'all say I really don't understand the logic of trying to say what he did ain't illegal, but what the other one did wasn't illegal either.
No,
and one's dead.
No, I'm saying he didn't have the right.
He wasn't. It is illegal for you to put your hands on someone unprovoked.
It didn't because he'd have been charged with assault.
He can't be charged with nothing. He did.
Charge a dead man.
Yeah, he did. He can't be charged with nothing. If he'd have lived, he would have got charged with assault.
Yes, you can. When a woman's been abused and she then kills her husband, they charge him with assault. So that's why it's called self-defense. Yes, you do. If he did this, it would be put under self-defense.
Both parties are alive, right?
No. I just said she kills her husband.
Yeah, you're not charging a dead body.
No, nobody getting charged. He's the one that's not getting charged.
They're charging him is like this. It's given self-defense.
Yes, he gets self-defense, but the dead body don't get no charge. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
That Karmelo would be walking the street because it would be self-defense.
But hold on. But that goes to another. That's a different point to the lack of competency of his defense. They argue.
Y'all, her go to slow auntie. Unapologetic. The slow auntie has entered the building. Y'all got some time. We got some time. I got a little energy. This was a 12-hour live. I'm definitely not finna watch this whole motherfucking live, but we 2 hours in, and I started this live off at 58 minutes, and we had 2 hours and 15. But y'all got time? I got time.
Self-defense in the state where it's stand your ground.
They should all.
You understand what I'm saying? Stand your ground is a completely different defense from self-defense. And you know that, Tommy, living in the stand your ground state.
They won George Zimmerman's case because it was self-defense, not stand your ground, because Florida didn't have it like that.
Because they got into an altercation.
Stand your ground.
No, I'm saying they didn't have
it.
His lawyer did not argue that. His lawyer argued that it was self-defense. That's how he won. His lawyer argued that, but Trayvon lost that case based on the bogus testimony of that girl. Well, see, by your own logic, dead people can't lose a case.
She blew it.
I know what you're saying. I didn't try to say.
No. I didn't say that. Well, I did say that, but I said Trayvon, but I mean that George Zimmerman won the case because he was the only one.
But I'm saying I even understood what you were saying. I know what you're saying. Right. His entity still exists even when he doesn't.
Correct.
And I appreciate you, brother. We've been having a really good conversation. I cannot lie. You've been telling me, and it's actually pretty good. But I'm saying I still have a fear because I would like the world to be a place where it's not. Same thing.
But come on, man. You know we live in that's wishful thinking.
Hold on, Bobby. Let him finish.
I was saying it's like when it comes to women, I know I want something to exist, but I hate that my daughters are dating in a situation where what I'd like to see don't exist. I hate knowing that they just gonna be out here just bumping uglies and ain't nothing gonna really happen.
Well, but you got to
connect to the case.
But in that situation,
I would connect to the case saying that when you ask me, when I say something needs to happen, I think you would set a dangerous precedent if he gets off and nothing happens. Whenever you say this person's dead, this person brought a knife to a hand fight.
Because it's bringing a knife to a hand fight. He didn't come to fight at all.
But a fight didn't happen. A fight didn't happen. I'm only going by y'all claiming he thought that he could be assaulted. He wasn't.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
The young man put his hands on him, right? Spitting on someone. Hold on, Tom. You agree? Spitting on someone.
Spit on me, that's assault.
Hold on, Bobby. Chill. You would agree that spitting on someone can be considered assault, correct?
Not can be. It is
biological attack.
All right. So putting your hands on someone is absolutely an assault.
Sirs.
If you're telling me,
let the young lady talk, man. We keep cutting her off.
If you're going to say this, then I hope y'all are okay when women push men, that men stab them.
Come on, Tommy. We're not going there. We're not going there.
Y'all calling it an assault. Y'all are calling it an assault.
Come on with the goofy shit, bro.
You should not be allowed to call pushing someone an assault. We ain't children like that. We're not. We're not. That's insane that y'all are saying this.
Arguing that
all the time.
Tommy, I think you're missing the point. It's a reasonable. Hold on, real quick. Don't let him run past that because it's the reasonable. It's the reasonable anticipation for great bodily harm and/or death.
It's assault.
So hold on, wait a minute. But I'm talking about the reaction to it. He said that if a woman push a man, can he stab her? you're not going to get off of that, because unless the woman got a reasonable size advantage over you, where you like, man, I really fear for my life, 9 times out of 10, it's assumed that a man has the physical strength advantage. Over women. Hold on, wait. That's assumed. Hold on, wait. Just let me finish. When you're looking at this situation, and you're talking about Metcalf, who's a line.
Tanya, I'm assuming he did, because when Tommy brought up that he had been told not to bring it before, dude said that was at another school. So I'm assuming he got kicked out, maybe suspended. But he was at a totally different school now.
Linebacker, and who got a reasonable size advantage. Then you're talking about Anthony, who's like 5'10", 160 pounds. If I'm being approached by this person,
that's what I have said about this whole thing. Hey, Tucci, I've been saying, like, it's disheartening the amount of rumors and just speculation and bullshit that us black people have run with in the past week about this goddamn case. Niggas have just came up with all types of conspiracy theories and shit.
And they're hostile, aggressive towards me. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what they're gonna do if they react crazy, because they already approaching me out the blue for something. If they react crazy and they take it and they get even more physical with me than they already said, because they already threatened me, then I could face some real harm.
I don't know no punks like that.
Now we talking about punks. Cause
it
ain't got nothing to do with it.
Push you and you say he bigger than me, so I need to stab him. That's punk.
Tommy, we're not. But you got to deal. But we did it. Hold on, Tommy. I agree with you, bro. I'm born in 1982. When I grew up, yes, that's punk activity. We're in a different time now where.
All I'm saying though.
Hold on, wait, but stop. But hold on, just listen to me. I got children, bro. I got 3 boys. I can't send them to school with the same mindset that I had when I was young. That, hey man, you fight and all that, and then somebody shoot my son, because that's what's happening today. I have to deal with the reality of today. Children are killing each other today. It's an epidemic of it, right? So if I understand, if Karmelo Anthony live in a state where he's seen at least 5 to 6 students stabbed to death on the school grounds because of a fight. And so, I hate that he got the 35, but to be honest with you, if it was my child, I would rather them be the one that's fighting for their life to get out of jail than just I have a life to fight for.
Now, can I respond, please?
Go ahead.
What I'm saying to you is, if you're saying we got to look under the guise of what is going on today, and this is the situation it is today, I'm going to agree with you 1,000%. And we should also, since we're being that logical, we should also be that logical and say, and the DAs are going to make sure they railroad the black kid that did it to the white one, because that's what they're doing today. So if we're going to accept that what they're doing today is stabbing and shooting instead of fighting, we should also accept what they're doing today, that if you get a white jury, they're going to put a black kid in jail. I accept both sides. I don't like trying to hold the white people to a higher standard than the other people. If they both dirty and they both playing the game today in 2026, then everybody should be playing that game.
But what's your opinion on the letter of the law? Right, like the letter of the law. If we're
I'm just talking about the law. It's a white dude.
Wait a minute. And that's no. There is no law. That is the letter of the law too. They followed the law.
No, they didn't.
The judge did. The lawyer did, and the jury did. They followed the law.
They followed the law in the case of Allison.
There is nobody that broke a law.
Do you agree that a push is an assault? Let's start there.
That a what?
That a push is an assault.
I'm telling you, you're going to have an argument with me because I don't think so.
You don't think a push is an assault?
No.
But you do agree that spitting on someone is an assault.
Do I think what?
That spitting on someone is an assault.
I said that's a biological assault, and there's a reason why that is. I can tell you. I don't
understand how you don't agree.
Girl, she's a lawyer. She can explain that one to you.
Why that? I don't understand how you don't agree that pushing someone is a physical assault. Right?
No. You said it's an assault. Period. I tell you the difference by a lot. If I spit on you, if I got,
it's an assault. Biological.
No. I'm telling you why spit.
Let's get to the push though.
It's the same way.
Why you don't agree that a push is an assault? That's what I'm trying to understand.
You. A push has never in my life resulted in what's called an assault. I've seen kids and adults push each other and never seen one get put in handcuffs and charged with a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd degree assault.
Yeah, you be 100%.
We would think it was overcharged if we saw it. If you saw two people at a restaurant, one pushed the other, and the police put them in a handcuff, especially if it was a black person, and then charged them with an assault.
I'm saying black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, right? If you push someone, yes, under the letter of the law, that's an assault, right? Assaults can be much less than that. So I'm just trying to get to the point where we understand that a push is under the law considered an assault. Are you disagreeing with that?
Hold on. If you're saying that this is a charge, I'm saying cool. And they still didn't feel like the response to the simple assault should have been death.
Got you. Now, understand.
Why would you agree to that? I agree with you.
So now understand your ground laws, right?
No.
If you are assaulted, you can respond in fear.
That is not what the law says. That's not what that law said. And I'll read it to you if you'd like. I'll read you the Texas one right now if you'd like.
1309. Yeah.
Yep, 9.32. Legal precedence. You must be have a legal right to be where the confrontation occurs. That was a check. No criminal involvement. You cannot be committing a crime at the time other than a Class C traffic violation.
Check.
No provocation. You cannot have provoked or started the altercation.
Check.
And the last one, a reasonable, which calls into question the jury. The jury has to decide this one. A reasonable, you must have a reasonable belief that force or deadly force is immediately necessary to protect yourself or others from death or serious bodily injury. Now, if that was your child, ain't no motherfucking way you'd be okay with your child on a slab and say, when they said he pushed this kid, that's why he dead. You would not say, well, that makes sense. You wouldn't.
Got you. I can't say I totally agree, but here's the question, right? Like, yes, we do agree that's an assault, right? So we do also understand that people have defended themselves when they were assaulted and were in fear and haven't gotten this type of time. Would you agree with that?
Yes, which is why I said the 35 years isn't fair.
So you agree it was racial? Or
I
you're
agree
saying it
with
was
35 years. Why is it y'all like making people say
I'm asking, do you agree it was racial?
I've been talking for
This
hours.
is a classic example.
I said it earlier. Yeah, it's like they like
This
to say
is a
racist and then
classic
stop.
example.
I go to slow auntie, but saying the sentence is unfair doesn't automatically equate to racism. That just means the sentence is unfair. And that's what we think, though, because technically the judge could have gave his ass 99 years.
Classic example of why most men have no business in power.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
And it just stops there. Like there's nothing else. That's it.
I said what I said.
There it is.
This is
Yeah, Taz then will get mad if I said something about women.
I appreciate you just letting that ride, fam.
They'll be like, how dare you
This is
respond?
a classic example.
They can say what they want to about y'all black men. If y'all say something back, you hate your mom and gay.
I mean, if you clap back at her, brother.
She said what she said, hey Tucci. She said what she said. This the slow auntie. Get used to her. Slow auntie don't give a fuck. She was on that Taylor port and she wasn't having this shit from these niggas. She was not going.
Calm down, but I would understand why you responded that way.
Okay, so
Let her finish your thought, though, bro. Let her finish your thought. Let her finish your thought.
You're right.
Go ahead, finish your thought. I want to hear.
Say that. That's it.
But your thought isn't attached to nothing just yet. Just explain to me why you said that, please.
No, she said men, period. Somebody said she didn't say all black men. See, they find excuses.
She didn't put no race on it at all. She didn't put a race on it at all.
She said men, period.
Yeah, I want to expound though. Like it don't have to be that bad. I just want to hear the argument.
I would love to. I was waiting on it.
I said, this is a classic example. Everything y'all been going back and forth with when it comes to life, who's wrong, who's right, all of that, everything. I've been sitting here in the last couple hours listening. So that's why I say this is a classic example of why most men should not be in power.
Oh, jeez.
And just
I didn't
I'll
say
ask
all.
one more
I
time.
said
Can
mostly.
you elaborate
Okay.
on what the this
Okay.
is? What is the this you're referring to?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, what's the this you're referring to though? Because you're saying it's this as if
I was listening to them. I was listening to the last two gentlemen.
oh, so you're saying a discussion?
Sir?
Are you saying it's their discussion that you refer? Because we don't.
That
I don't know what you're referring
that's
to.
where, yeah, the last two gentlemen that went back and forth in the last whole 30 minutes to an hour. And then even before them, I was just listening.
So what do you think they should be?
It was just
I
the
don't-
men.
But I don't understand what you're looking for in a
I'm
conversation
not
where
looking
we're
for anything. I wasn't looking for
And this is why
anything.
women
I'm
shouldn't
sorry.
rule because they
I
don't
wasn't
never
looking
got
for
nothing to
anything.
actually add. They just
My
want to complain
apologies.
about niggas
I
that's
was
running
not
shit
looking
and ain't got
for
no real
anything.
solution, but just a bunch of complaints.
Okay.
And y'all wonder what I've been saying and why I've been saying it for so long.
no, bro.
I don't agree what the hell you saying either, nigga. I'm saying what I'm saying.
I respectfully.
I mean, she does have a point when you consider
You was
Judge
only good in New York undercover, nigga. You your mouth.
when you consider the doxing and the harassment of Judge Angela Tucker. She has a point. I mean, this is woman. Judge Angela Tucker was the only one that had some sort of remorse, some sort of like not remorse, but forgiveness or some sort of mercy on the brother.
Dude, they talking about trying to keep they giving death threats to Karmelo's lawyer. Are you really gonna tell that lie that she's the only one who had a problem?
No, I'm talking about in terms of having power.
I didn't say nothing
No, you
about
just said she's the
Karmelo.
only one. They
I
said
didn't
that
say
they're offering her
anything
death
about
threats.
Karmelo. I
That
didn't
has
say
real power to
anything,
make change.
Don't
Are
do
you
that.
talking about women having real power to make change now?
Like,
And apparently she didn't
my
do it.
God, like,
Okay, here's the
Okay,
thing.
when you talk about how these men,
like,
what you have a criticism about men. What are
Where's
you trying to get at?
Auntie is on go. Auntie can't hear nobody. She can hear, because she said she was listening to them, but she ain't hearing them right now. Auntie is on go.
I told you we gonna stop letting you beat up on slow cuz. Tommy, chill out.
No, I thought you were talking about men in power. Where's the power that the lawyer had for Karmelo and Anthony?
Okay.
Judge Angela Tucker had power to at least lower his bail. She had power. She had leverage. The lawyer did not.
But that's what I'm saying. And then she had this power. Look how she used it. She didn't. She had she had power to win the defense.
She lowered bail. She lowered bail from 1 million to
She had power
250,000.
to censor the prosecution if they were going too far. She had power to do all of this.
It's pre-trial. It's only pre-trial, bro. She was only.
No,
she
I'm
was the
saying
pre-trial
during the
judge.
trial, if the defense, the prosecution steps out of line, she has the power to tell them to stop.
No. This is pre-trial, bro. This was a pre-trial judge.
Initial bond. Like I don't know why. Like why? What was your point in bringing her up, bro?
Yeah, she had power over his at least the bail part of Karmelo Anthony.
But that was last year, bro. I don't understand the relevance to the conversation.
I think what she was alluding to, the person that came up on the panel, was this is a classic example of what happens when men are in power.
He made his bail insanely high.
Now, if that was a judge,
So
a male
what
judge.
so what is the classic
Yeah, go
example? Lay out the classic example for me, because she didn't. So I'm trying to figure out what you were able to ascertain from her not speaking. I'm listening.
Yeah, $1 million bail. Well, he been able to get out of jail at $1 million.
I'm such a
Or he would have stay in jail until trial.
I don't know where he's going.
He had the opportunity to say goodbye to his family before the 35-year sentence. And that may not have happened if a male judge was there to issue his bond.
That is a
That may
wild
not happen.
statement. That is a wild statement to make. It may not have happened.
No, wait.
Negroes get bail every day in Texas.
Help it out there, Bobby. I don't know what to do, bro.
No, the woman
This is
was
wild.
talking about men in power.
Check your cash.
Okay, now Judge Angela Tucker was the pretrial judge for Karmelo Anthony, who reduced his bail from $1 million to $250,000. And because of that, she was doxxed and harassed by the citizens of the town. That's not power? Why are they doing such a thing if that's not power?
Yep. All right. Now pack your goofy ass up. Taz, check your cash app.
There's no bounties. There's no bounties, bro. There's no bounties, bro.
Yeah, I'd have been gone if it was. Thank you so much.
I need to fuck my whole shit up with a bounty right now, but relax, bro.
You saw it, Cheapo. I was in and out of parts of this marathon.
God damn, y'all niggas be doing too goddamn much, bro.
I'd have been gone, and I appreciate it. That's why
Go watch if you want to watch something. I ain't doing no bounty right this moment. I'm trying to get some numbers up. Like, get the fuck out of here if you don't like it.
Got you.
What's going on, bro? I shouldn't even have to explain no shit like that. Motherfuckers should want to see me trying to drive my number. What are we doing? I know exactly what's gonna happen. As soon as I turn the bounties on, niggas gone. Numbers drop. Conversation back. Our agreement. I don't mind the pushback, bro. As long as we clear on something, bro, I don't mind the pushback. Nigga, I asked him not to be extra. He asked me not to let motherfuckers do extra shit. We're fine. Ain't shit.
Well, I ain't have it on the TV. It was on the phone, but I too woke up several times and this motherfucker was still. I'm like, come on, cause I was watching it on Rumble. I'm like, this nigga still alive. It's like 8 hours later.
Extra happening, my nigga. Let's just have a conversation. If you want to support the platform, you can support it. If not, don't. Ain't no bounties right now. We ain't doing no bounties. We doing subscribers. Bay, turn my shit on subscribers mode only. Let's continue.
But I've been telling y'all that. I said the one thing about them white boys, whether they fight, argue, or whatever, they get together and have a big ass panel of big ass names, and they don't sit up there and have the audience saying, "Why are you talking to him?" and "Why are you talking to him?" and kick him off. They know that the disagreement is for what will make a good. Hell, that's what WrestleMania is. All these bad guys versus good guys, and they get together and you want to watch them. Imagine if they had WWE talking about some, well, y'all don't like this person, let's don't invite them. That's insane. But black folks, we really
that
like.
shot wasn't at you.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying like what we'll do is hurt, like he's saying, and I've been telling it to.
I get it.
Nobody care about your platform. If your numbers just doubled, they wouldn't tell you kick somebody off that made your numbers double. They just wait till that person left, and then you can clown them again for another good show. But just have it. Have them later.
I get the argument. I'm saying K doesn't make
Everybody told me, why did you talk to David Duke? Why wouldn't I talk to David Duke? I talk to everybody. That is my job. I talk to people I agree with and people I disagree with. I don't tell anybody they can't come on my show.
No, it was like 2 months ago. I wouldn't even been able to do that. But after the shit with Sharon, and I looked at how that shit happened. Nah, that shit changed. It changed how I need to do shit. I can't challenge that conversation by saying don't have a conversation. Nah, I did that wrong, which is why I went back to him and said I did that wrong. So if I'm gonna be, listen, fam, if I'm gonna grow, I gotta be able to have a conversation. And motherfucker ain't here doing no bullshit. I'm not going. So it is what it is. If you see some bullshit pop off, you want to challenge me on it, I'm here. Other than that, niggas ain't crossed no motherfucking line. And I think even Tommy know if a line get crossed, we gonna have some issues. No different than if I was on his shit, it'd be the same shit. So again, we just having a conversation, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
And I was talking to four cousins. It was part of a joke. They was making a joke. I thought it was funny. They was good. It's good things to have, even with that woman, regardless of the fact that she came up here and said something ridiculous. Having that ridiculous thing at least has somebody able. Now I know what you were saying before. Taz was like, what y'all do is y'all let Tommy set y'all up because he know y'all gonna do whatever y'all do, and then he use it against you. Well, that's the same thing y'all should do to me though. Have me come on your show, make me do something that you can use against me and say, aha. But that's the only way you'll get to let people know the real person. The sad part about it is every one of y'all have been in a situation to where a friend has turned their friends against you, and those friends never met you, don't know nothing about you, but they all saying the same dirt about you because one person did it. And they don't want them to ever talk to you because they know if they talk to you, they might find out that you were being lied on. That is the same thing that I do when I go to everybody's show. I go to your show, I'm like, if you say I said something and you don't like what I said, cool. But if you have a discussion with me, you might A, either understand why I said it, or B, hate me more. But the fact that you don't want to have a discussion with me should let everybody know which one of us lying, because I don't run from discussions. So no one should run from talking to the person that they keep talking about.
Yeah, so to be clear, right, like the shot was never going to be about you. It was about packing K goofy ass up, right?
Oh,
and
no, I
get
got
him out of here so we could have the conversation. Like,
No,
I
okay,
do
we have a
respect the fact
discussion
that
and not your ad-libs and characterizations on the people on the panel.
Tommy, I do respect that.
Show us some
You
of
know,
that brilliance and
you
form.
came
No,
out with
I was
a
laughing at you when you said it, Wall Street. I was laughing because it was funny because y'all was saying it because he say some things you'd be like, what?
Right. We were both, we were both, no matter how much I may disagree with you sometimes, we were both on that same page, like he was in the way. So I want to be clear. It wasn't a shot at you. I wanted to clear the way to hold your feet to the fire. So that's all I was. But
that's all. But what he telling you is, if you turn that bounty on, it would be more than just him that got kicked off.
Nah, I get that. I get that.
That's all he telling you.
I'm a YouTube baby. I be
they
learning.
call it what they call it, catching strays.
I get it.
The other people catch that stray.
Yeah, conversation get cut off, especially a decent conversation. Sometimes it's like, all right, fuck it, y'all want to wild out, we just turn the bounties on it. That'll fix the issue. But if we having a legitimate conversation that's flowing, there just would have been no need because you take the pushback away. I don't want to do that.
I agree. But as you know, where I was coming from with it, right? Like I want to have the conversation with Tommy, like, right?
Like that, to where you get a whole new trial.
Yes.
Yeah, they do this
That
all the
would
time.
be
Under the
that would
right
be what he would be
circumstances.
asking
Yeah,
for.
on the right circumstances, you will.
Yeah,
If what you argue,
sometimes they could just take a few years
you can
off.
argue for a new trial. Sure
Yes,
can.
it depends on how your appeal lays out.
Because you can't argue for the sentence. That's
No,
not what they're arguing for. They're not trying to say 35 should be 25. That's not what.
The judge in that rich ass county ain't running on. I'm cracking down on the 13% crime that we got in this motherfucker. No.
I mean, but to kind of give an example though, right? So it was a case where
nah, come on, don't
play about it.
Another 5 minutes.
Choosing between a judge and a jury, right? When you look at the fact that the motion
This should
was
be
put
a
in,
good spot.
when you look at
I'm trying to let y'all hear the slow auntie. I think I got a good spot.
They're scared that they're because their parents can lose because their parents.
I'll give you that, right? But
She ain't going.
Are we saying that
comes to the sentencing, he did not have to choose.
Oh, YN Bella, she going
what
off.
we presented to the judge, and then they came back with this like totally unfavorable thing that's against the law. No, that's what I'm saying. That's against the what like law.
Okay, it's the two women on the panel. Y'all got y'all know I'm sexist, but I'm gonna let y'all hear the women. I'm gonna let y'all hear the women cook.
Don't got the nuances of case analysis.
This nigga
He planned to murder, stabbed a young man in the back
times.
in the school multiple times, and he got 10 years. He got a 10-year max. So we ask you, like, this is a judge trial. This is what I'm saying. You have a better chance of arguing the nuances of the law. I'm only speaking about this trial and this situation because you don't got the benefit of a jury pool, right? That has at least a couple people that can be in your favor. That way, to swing one person will be to your point. This is an all-white jury pool.
I agree, Bobby, but like, let's not pretend that judges can't be biased. And let's wait, hold on, sis, wait, hold on, can you hold on for a second? Can you hold on for a second? Just a quick second. Bobby, I agree with
The slow auntie is not going. Moore's voice. What the you missed soccer. We was playing soccer yesterday. You missed it. Go! The United States won they World Cup match, by the way.
you, but I don't want to also pretend that judges can't possibly be biased. I do agree that there is a better chance. Like, again, I agree with jury trial, judge sentence. Like, that makes sense to me. I don't understand why you would put the power of both
Somebody
on either
asked
side.
where you
Like,
was.
going judge, trial, judge sentence.
I think it was Leah. I think it was Leah. She said, "Where come correct at? She always be here for the games." Come correct, booze. Her and Juicy Kim moved to the Mo 3 sector. They don't really they in the Mo 3 sector, deep in the trenches.
Or jury trial, jury sentence. Like, why go with both?
Now, this was my other
When you go to Vegas,
hold on,
when you go to Vegas, you put a stack on the black and a stack on the red.
Real quick, Belly. Hold on, real quick, Wall Street. That was my real quick. Hold on, no. I just wanted to answer that point about
Bobby.
You never. Man, be quiet, man. Belly. This is what I was saying about you're right. A judge can also be biased, but that was my point. The bias of proving a judge being biased is a little bit more easy. If that, you know what I'm saying?
This nigga want to be intellectual so bad. The nuances. He done said nuances 17 motherfucking times.
It's easier to prove that on the appeal, in my opinion, than it is to prove the bias of 12 jurors that you don't really know what they went in this room to deliver.
Oh my God.
You get what I'm saying? You got the actual right. If you can actually see, like, this is what we
get them slow, auntie, get them.
Presented to the judge, and then they came back with this like totally unfavorable thing that's against the law. No, this is what I'm saying. That's against what like laws and certain sentences guidelines have already laid out. Then it would be like what Willie's saying. Like, if this dude start putting up advertisements and shit saying I locked up Karmelo, then it's like, oh yeah, motherfucker, you got a bias. You trying to win a fucking election. What the hell they got to do with judging the case?
Well, Bobby, what I'm talking about is once you get to the appeal.
I don't know if he said it yet, but it was something he said that had me dying laughing. I had typed it in the chat. He said, dude, he said, this judge is running for office. He said he gonna run off the fact that crime is tougher. He gonna say I gave 99 years. And I said that was the slogan for his reelection. I'm tough on crime. I gave his black ass 99. I thought that was funny. Might not be funny to y'all, but I died laughing at my own joke last night. I did.
It's a choice.
Wait, once you get to the
Can't you see a white dude though running for like re-elect Judge White, and that's his slogan? I'm tough on crime. I gave his black ass 99. And then the prison door sound clunk, slam behind him. That'd be a fat commercial.
Hill, right? If the judge gives him 75, right? And the jury gives him 35, right? The one thing you're not going to get is more time, right? But I don't have faith in, if this was in Kings County, Brooklyn, New York, if this was in Cook County, in Chicago, yeah, maybe I might have took that chance on trusting the judge. This is in Collin County, Texas.
Okay,
I don't trust the judge. Now I'm going on probability. I'm saying, and I'm gonna land right here.
Crazy.
And I'm gonna land right here.
12
I'm
people going
saying
with
at
their
that point,
feelings.
I'm gonna land right here. I'm saying at that point, I'm going more. I'm gonna land right here. I'm saying at that point, I'm trusting probability more. That there may be a likelihood that I can get one juror, right, to cause a hung trial, right? But I don't have that faith in one judge in Collin County.
Billy, you're not listening. You're not listening. There's two choices here. He could have the jury trial. I agree with you. But when it comes to the sentencing, he did not have to choose to let the jury hand out his sentence. Like, why are you not understanding that there's two parts to the process, at least in this state?
Can I say something?
The judge should have still, in my opinion, the judge would be more inclined to look at the law, look at the circumstances where the jury is going to be working on their, like, they're going to be going based off of their feelings. I don't give a fuck how many times we give them jury rules and criteria to follow. They are going to be, listen, that's why them black people didn't get on that jury, because they were honest about the fact that they were going to vote with their feelings. I don't think they should have been honest about it, but they were. So it is what it is.
Let me ask y'all.
Let me say this. I'm saying the jury had more potential for being empathetic. That's literally.
I don't know where she got that from, but the official reason that's on record for those jurors being excluded is because they were educators. They were teachers. I don't know where she got. They told them we gonna vote. We gonna say he not guilty because they're black. I don't know where she got that from, but cool. Everybody got a different story. That's why I like this panel was interested. Everybody got a different piece of the puzzle to contribute. And our puzzle still ain't finished. We're missing a couple pieces.
But they weren't all white people on the jury. Are we saying that as long as they're not black, they couldn't? Like, they were Hispanics?
Let's just remember this.
Jury don't matter. I'm saying
Let's just remember this. Let's just remember this. Let's just remember that Jeff Metcalf just did a live where he basically snitched and said that he was witness tampering.
Slow auntie, loud and wrong. She is not going.
Because he went to the school and he.
Oh, my bad. That ain't slow auntie. That's somebody else. No, it was 3 women up there. This is the film, media, and art at the bottom. Q1, QI.
Threatened the school. Him and his wife.
She was just flat out wrong, though.
Went to our ex or whatever she is, the mom, went to the school, threatened the school, and he's, basically he was going around, and you can tell that he was threatening witness. That's why all of their statements was the same. They even had Law and Crime. One of the reporters stated that they saw him coercing a witness from the courtroom, from the court. And then that AI picture, or that picture that we thought was AI, he admitted that it was real. So they all know each other. These are friends of friends. So the case should have really been moved, whether it been the judge or the jury. Most of those jury people are just as frightened as those students.
So look,
they're scared that because their parents can lose, because their parents.
I'll give you that, right? But even when you deal with the most to move the venue, that was determined by the judge. The judge said no. Wait.
The justice system don't work.
Not there.
Not
there. And we can't forget that he's a bully. He is a bully. That's where his son got it from.
Hold on, ma'am. I ain't admitting all that. I'm just asking.
It's a wild
statement. Are you saying that the justice system don't work? Is that what
that's not even the argument? The argument is if you're talking about choosing between a judge and a jury, right? When you look at the fact that a motion was put in, when you look at, hold on, sis, chill, sis, give me a
I
moment.
was asking her.
I got you, but I'm
Are you
responding. Hold on,
saying
let me
that the
respond, sis.
justice system don't
No,
work?
I'm not saying that the justice system doesn't work. I'm saying the justice system doesn't work in Collin County, where it's not based on justice.
Okay, Collin County.
So you agreeing with me, Ella?
Okay, Collin.
Because I'm saying, why
Got
would
it.
you trust the
Got it.
judge when a motion is put in to change venue, and it
Like,
was
I
that
don't
one
know
singular
why you
judge
keep chiming
that you're
in. I
saying
was
we
just
should have chose
asking.
instead of a jury? That one particular judge said, no, we're not changing venue, right? I don't have any reason to believe that the judge would have been more benevolent in sentencing. I don't.
Yeah, because the change of venue
Collin
shouldn't have been
County.
denied. Actually,
Collin
everything that the
County
defense,
in
everything that the
Texas
defense,
don't work. The
everything that
system
the
in
defense
Collin
brought
County
forward was
don't work.
denied. The judge
Okay.
denied everything.
So why would you
And they have the
trust
great
him more
appeal
than the
thing,
jury?
right?
So
The
wait,
appeal
why would you wait? Let me ask fellas this question real quick. Why would you trust him more than the jury? Right? Like if
I
all
don't
these
trust none of
motions.
them.
So that's kind
Well,
of the
first
point,
of
right? If you
all,
have to make a
a
choice.
jury and a judge
Wait, I wasn't asking you, sis. I was asking Bella. Give me a
is
second.
optional
Never
for
mind.
a defendant. It's optional. If they
All right.
anybody
Yes,
being
that's an extraordinary
accused,
grasp of the
say
obvious.
anybody
We got
being
that. We
accused of a
understand.
crime, they have the option of electing a judge or going to trial.
Now that you caught up, that's the question. What would have been more beneficial? Choosing a singular judge to make this determination or
Just cause it broke my shit up. A jury of your peers doesn't mean there has to be a black person on the jury. A jury of your peers is a legal right guaranteeing that a defendant is tried by an impartial group of fellow citizens drawn from their local community. It does not mean the jury will share your exact age, race, or profession, but rather that the jury pool represents a fair, unbiased cross-section of the public. Next.
a jury? I'm saying I don't think he was getting 35 with a singular judge that's going to run an election to be reelected to his position. That judge
Yeah,
is
because
going
he's
to get
not.
some 75.
He's retiring. This was his last court case. So he had no, like, this was his last court case. He might go on to something else, but this was his last court case. So basically, if it had been in the hands of the judge, he might have gotten life.
What?
Because
agree with me.
he is friends.
I'm sorry.
Keep in mind, he's friends.
35
Jeff Metcalf just admitted that he was his friend. That picture wasn't fake.
She done told a goddamn lie twice.
Yeah, and the fact that he did.
No, listen, man, listen. I've heard enough. All right, look. Now listen. On some real shit, we can't say shit that ain't true.
Thank you.
They finally stopped her. You said she from the beef section on you?
Video earlier, okay? When he said that, he followed it up by saying it's not him. He didn't admit to it being him. He said it in a smart ass, sarcastic way, as the people in the picture, those are his friends. But people lied and said the people in the picture were the judge and the prosecutor.
Yes.
So he didn't admit to anything.
Okay,
He was
my bad.
being a smart ass about it.
We got to stop putting, but thank you.
Thank you.
My bad. My bad. I'm
listen.
glad you cleared that up because I was like, the picture's real.
Oh no, y'all know that this, and that's what my boy.
Well, wait, just right quick. The picture real, but the representation of the people in the picture wasn't real.
is not real.
Right, I got you. I understand.
And I'm just upset at my boy Willie because Willie said I'm out of his way and told me what I couldn't say, so I'm apologetic. And then you tried to get smart with unapologetic. So if you can do it, Willie, I can.
Yo, chill out, Tommy. Don't try to make it like I'm on your side. Chill out.
No, you gotta stop. You gotta
gonna
take my
make me hot when I come back to the black community.
About the
Chill out.
young man. I don't know details about how it went. I only responded to the prosecution. Well, not prosecution, but how and why.
So, but outside of that, is the relationship
Get him slow, auntie. Get him.
real? No realer than anybody.
Apologetic talks real slow. It's like, and she keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again.
else. These are elected officials. These are people that are in your community. So could you potentially know your judge? Yes, you could.
No.
Just like how judges come to churches, you know your judge. Preachers talk to judges all the time. That's how they stand them up in their congregations in the black community. That's how they get voted in. So people will know a judge.
Hold on, the chances of the chance.
That was the
Hold on, the chances of regular niggas brushing shoulders with judges and shit is slim to zero. Let's be 100 about that.
And that's to regular niggas' fault. But in the community, you have in the community you have plenty of instances where judges.
Like judges had to get they got to buy their clothes somewhere. They got to get their groceries from somewhere. They got to take their kids to school. They got to go out with their wives and shit. They live normal fucking lives. And unless you've been in their goddamn courtroom where they fucking famous, you wouldn't know they were a goddamn judge.
But judges will get influenced by pastors. They do it all the time. In the hood, you have plenty of pastors that will influence a judge because they'll say, hey, I can vouch for this kid. Hey, I can vouch for this dude. So it happens.
Hold on, my mom is a regular nigga, and my mom is a pastor. Hold on, my mom is a pastor here in Gwinnett County, and she had every one of those judges come to her church. Number one, if they don't come, it looks bad on them because they're elected officials and they come. And so at that point, you didn't get to rub shoulders, elbows. They got to get to see your people. He's right. It's the same with the DA. Most of y'all don't know the DA's name until he in front of you trying to prosecute you. That's a problem.
I was only saying that.
Yeah, that requires going to church.
Being accused
hold on. Think about how many places you go to see Beyonce. Because Beyonce gonna be there. You don't go. Beyonce gonna be there.
Nah, that's real. My fault. I don't even know why. Yeah, please.
You have
at this point, I don't know what's going on.
Blue, the question was but let's just try to hear her out, bro, because she's not going
man, she is.
Auntie Apologetic said, you niggas, I'm finna out talk all you niggas. Y'all got me fucked up. She is not going.
One of
jury on that dog, lad.
Man. So, and the thing is too with the jury trial, that's why most murders don't go bench trial because it's on a hold on, wait a minute. You've been saying a long time. Can you let somebody else get a chance, please? All I'm saying is with a bench trial versus a jury trial, it is more easier to convince 1 out of 12 than to convince one white person on the bench, one black person on the bench. It's a numbers game. So if you're doing something with a bench trial, you talking slow, but that don't mean it's gonna stop me from talking. I just want to get my point out. If you have a bench trial, you select a bench trial. You go with 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 the bench trial. You go with the bench trial. You go.
Slow AT is not going. I think this pod woke me up last night. I was laughing and went back to sleep.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. You ain't helping right now, bro.
You go with a bench trial. You go with a bench trial.
We gotta do hit.
I don't like using people. I don't like putting people in the back. But sis, you gotta let him make his point. Like you've been talking nonstop. It's not. I don't know if he's trying to say like. Is it something you're trying to get out? Like, because you got to let him finish his point once he starts talking.
Thank you, brother.
Auntie said a bullshit.
You go with a bench trial when you have a technicality or you have several technicalities that are bound by law to where you can be innocent. So if there is a specific law and the evidence is amounting to point to that specific law, then yes, that's why you want a bench trial as opposed to a jury trial. Jury trial is more about emotions and optics as opposed to a bench trial, which is where, hey, even if a judge don't want to let you off, he gotta, if it's a technicality on how you on evidence or something like that, he gotta let you off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's why I said, hold on real quick. Hold on real quick, Blue. And that's why, hold on real quick, sis. But to the point of what the brother said, that's why, in my opinion, I said a judge trial because a jury usually judges more off of emotions and opinions, to your point. Which in this case, if you Karmelo, you don't want that. You understand what I'm saying? You want somebody that's go. I'm saying for better for worse.
This nigga sound like he just graduated from ICDC college. Auntie Slow is trying to cook.
You want somebody that's just gonna look at it for what it is. This what he did. This what we got on law for other people doing this type of shit. We just gave somebody 10 years for doing this on the school grounds. You know what I'm saying? And he planned a murder. Like what you want me to do with that? You did what I'm saying? Versus the emotion of it.
Can I say this real quick? I never said it was wrong. I never said I disagree. Somebody earlier said a bench trial and his lawyers had a trial. The only thing I was responding to was he chose a trial. And then somebody else chimed in and said something about the judge. That's it. I was responding to that. I didn't say whether I agree or disagree. So I don't understand how y'all thought, or well, not thought, how I came across as disagreeing with y'all. I was saying it's a big difference between a lawyer, no, not a lawyer, a judge trial versus.
Man, you said real quick, sis, that you saying the same thing over and over again.
Versus.
We heard you, sis.
So, thank you. I don't understand why.
Okay, but you said we heard you. You said real quick. It's been 3 minutes. That's all we saying. So I mean, let's hear what somebody else got to say.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I think though the issue is that you got to get somebody that's able to kind of to see somewhat of themselves in you. You're gonna have an issue because most of the people is.
Hold up, y'all. I just fuck this. They've said this. They've talked about this goddamn case so much. I'm gonna do something that none of these content creators that keep citing this motherfucking case have done. Let's go listen to the goddamn case from the dudes who was there. I was gonna see if Law and Crime had it, but is that when I Googled his name and just hit video, that's what popped up. So hold on here. What the fuck is this? Oh no, it's not gonna show up. Hold on, y'all. Fuck. Okay, how do I open it in the app? Visit. Okay. All right, pull it up now. Now this video is Casey Allen from arrest to guilty verdict. So let's go take us through all the important parts of this case. As they were saying, he got 10 years and it's different. And so his situation is a little bit different because they told y'all that he premeditated to kill this guy and all of this other shit. This is the case of the white boy y'all keep seeing on all the memes that's going around. Let's compare what we know about Karmelo's case. And since y'all have heard about this case a million times from different people, all these social media platforms, let's decide for ourselves.
We are learning more about the Belton High School student who died after being stabbed at school, allegedly by another student.
Belton police identified him, 18-year-old Jose Luis Ramirez Jr., a senior at the school. He died at Baylor Scott and White Medical Center tonight from his injuries.
And 6 News anchor Bailey Bates has been following this devastating story today. She joins us live in studio now with more. Bailey?
Leslie, Chris, it was a very somber day in the Belton community. Feelings of uneasiness, confusion, and sorrow took over after the stabbing at Belton High this morning. But tonight, not every parent is getting to hold their loved one. A scary situation at Belton High School Tuesday when the school was put on lockdown for a reported stabbing.
I'm in shock because I have an older son that graduated from here in 2018, and it's always been a great school. I'm in shock.
Pamela Owen rushed to pick up her 2 kids from school after getting a text she never expected.
Got the text from my son saying they're barricaded in a room, but he's safe. So what does a mom do? We panic.
Belton ISD opened Tiger Field as a reunification center, with hundreds of parents and guardians waiting in line to get their loved ones.
I've been in crazier situations at school.
Emotions were high as unanswered questions loomed.
They're all right. They're a little in shock. You know, I mean, we didn't expect something like this to happen. I mean, who does?
Belton police say an altercation between two seniors happened in the men's restroom just before 10 a.m. And then 18-year-old Kason Tyler Allison allegedly stabbed 18-year-old Jose Joe Ramirez. Ramirez died at the hospital Tuesday afternoon from the violent act.
You know how to make you crack a smile, know how to crack a joke, know how to make you laugh. Regardless of anything, he was always there for you. It's really who Joe was. He was always that person that even when you didn't see him, you knew he was there.
Tuesday evening, Martin Martinez and other friends and family gathered to remember their friend. Lots of tears shed as they didn't expect to have to say goodbye this soon.
Still in shock. I think everybody's still kind of processing it, doesn't really believe it.
The sea of red, Ramirez's favorite color.
I know what everybody's thinking. It's a lot of damn Mexicans at that school. What do you expect? They're in Texas. They're right there by the border. I know we were all thinking and we were saying, like, it's a lot of fucking Mexicans at this school.
Will keep moving forward, honoring his life and how there was never a dull moment, and their memories will never fade. A GoFundMe has been created to help Joe's family as they grieve a young life loss. You can find that link on our website, kcntv.com. We've also known that Belton High School has canceled classes for tomorrow as the school will be closed. Chris Leslie.
All right, thanks, Bailey. Now, Belton Mayor Wayne Carpenter released this statement today saying in part, quote, "I am deeply saddened by the tragic incident at Belton High School today and send my prayers to all of those who have been impacted by it, particularly to the young victim and his family," end quote. He went on to say, "On behalf of all Beltonians, I want all students, faculty, and staff at Belton High School and Belton ISD to know that they are in our thoughts and prayers." The Belton High School student charged with stabbing his classmate to death has been indicted by a Bell County grand jury for murder. In early May, 18-year-old Kason Allison was arrested for allegedly stabbing 18-year-old Joe Ramirez multiple times in a school bathroom. Ramirez died at a local hospital. According to an arrest affidavit, several students witnessed Allison stab Ramirez. The affidavit claims that Allison was arrested a short time later at his home and then admitted to the stabbing.
Well, the trial of Kason Allison, the Belton High School student charged in a stabbing murder of his classmate, has been rescheduled. The trial was originally set for May 20th, but was delayed for parties to review potential evidence. 6 News anchor Bailey Bates is live in our studio tonight with the latest on this 2-year-old case. We won't know the outcome for a while now, Bailey.
Yeah, Lindsay, we know in today's hearing, the judge, the prosecutor.
It was two that they had been waiting for 2 years and still had delays on this damn case. That's why I was like, it was real odd that Karmelo's case get a year. He requested the speedy trial.
And the defense attorney agreed to start the trial on January 13th of next year. That's when a Bell County jury will decide the fate for Kason Allison. He's accused of stabbing and killing classmate Joe Ramirez in a Belton High bathroom on May 3rd, 2022. 2 years ago, 6 News obtained an arrest affidavit that said Ramirez was stabbed in the chest, back, legs, and arm. That affidavit also stated police obtained video that showed Allison stab Ramirez before the video abruptly comes to an end. According to online court records, we know that part of the reason trial has been delayed is for both the state and the defense to sort through and prepare potential evidence, including camera footage and several cell phones. A spectator in the courtroom at today's hearing tells me Kason was present the first time in a while, and the defense attorney told the judge he had conflicts for much of the year, leaving the trial to not start until next year. Allison is out on bond, and we will keep you updated as we continue to follow this case, Lindsay. The trial of Kason Allison is being delayed a third time. According to Bell County court records, Allison is facing murder charges for the death of his 18-year-old classmate, Jose Joe Ramirez Jr. The two allegedly got into a fight inside a school bathroom where Allison pulled a knife and stabbed Ramirez several times. The trial was set to begin January 13th. Now the trial is scheduled for March 31st. There is currently no word as to the reason for the additional delayment.
Today marks the beginning of the trial for a former Belton High student indicted for murder. Kason Allison, who was 18 at the time, has been accused of murdering his classmate Joe Ramirez in a Belton High School bathroom. Ramirez was stabbed multiple times and later died from the injuries. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker was in the courtroom today. Sydney, what did you learn?
I got here about 8:40.
So he had already been in jail 3 times for 3 years. That makes more sense to me why the judge gave him 10, because he was like, shit, if I don't give you anything more, you gonna get time served.
5 a.m. and the hallways of the Bell County Justice Center were jam-packed. That's largely because this jury pool consists of 120 people. When the trial begins, it will take place in District Court 478, which is Judge Faulkner's court, but the hearing today was in District Court 146 simply to accommodate the number of people. During today's proceedings, Allison sat quietly between his two defense attorneys. If found guilty, he faces between 5 to 99 years in prison or life. Judge Faulkner mentioned to the court he was aware of the high media coverage of this case and told jurors to avoid learning information outside of the court. There were also notices on the courtroom doors prohibiting recording and the use of cameras. When the hearing began, several jurors were dismissed or opted out. The state went first with its questions for the potential jurors, focusing heavily on the distinction between self-defense and deadly force, repeatedly asking where they drew the line between the two. Only late in the afternoon, around 2-ish, did they present vague details about the case. Once they revealed that the case involved school violence and a stabbing at Belton High, nearly 40 jurors raised their card to acknowledge they had previous knowledge of the case. Many expressed concern about the ability to remain unbiased. We'll be hearing mostly from Allison's defense team tomorrow, since they didn't start their questioning until about 4-ish today, and then court convened about 4:30. But they did tell us today that they were here in defense of the law, not in defiance of the law. Jury selection will continue tomorrow, and the trial is expected to start in court on April 14th and will end no later than April 25th. I'll be here for you through it all. The morning didn't really get started until around 9:30, and what followed was Allison pleading not guilty. The witnesses were called to testify today, but overall today gave us a clearer picture of what went down in Belton High School hallways that May 3rd day. The prosecutor began in their opening statements revealing there is a recording of the incident. They also said that the conflict between Joe and Kaysen began after an incident at a prom after party, and that Joe swung at Kaysen first, accompanied by 4 others in that bathroom. The defense.
Let's go back. So they beef started days before the killing. And the nigga that was killed was the aggressor in that particular situation, and he wouldn't let it go. I don't know if he got his ass whooped that day or what. He wouldn't let it go.
Opening statements revealing there is a recording of the incident. They also said that the conflict between Joe and Kaysen began after an incident at a prom after party, and that Joe swung at Kaysen first, accompanied by 4 others in that bathroom. The defense countered by saying that Allison was not guilty of murder because, quote, Kaysen survived what could have very well been death or bodily injury by a group beatdown. The defense also made a motion to exclude photo and video evidence, which was denied by Judge Faulkner. The jury also saw security footage of the Belton High School hallways showing the students entering the bathroom and running out. This included video of Ramirez running out with a trail of blood behind him and eventually collapsing. Several witnesses took the stand today, including 911 dispatcher Amy Retz, security officer Philip Douglas Taylor, and teachers who responded to the scene. You can read more about the witnesses' testimony at kcentv.com. The trial is expected to continue tomorrow with more witnesses called to testify. I'll have more updates for you then.
5 more witnesses took the stand today in the murder trial of Kaysen Allison. Allison is facing charges alleging he stabbed and killed fellow Belton High School student Joe Ramirez. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker was back in the courtroom for day 2 of the trial. And Sydney, what did you hear from today?
Today, we heard from a Belton PD detective who was there that day on the scene, as well as a close friend of Kaysen's who tried to break up the fight before it even happened, plus 3 boys who were in the bathroom the day of the fight when it occurred. Yesterday, we heard a lot from staff about what Joe's injuries were and the response that was taken, but today was focused way more on the dynamics between the 2 boys as well as their respective friend groups. For instance, after multiple graphic crime scene photos were shown, we learned from a Belton PD detective's testimony that he had obtained a video taken inside the bathroom by one of Joe's friends. His friend admitted Ramirez liked to have his.
Joe's friend is the one that recorded the video. Let's see what they say. This is Joe's friend testifying against him. The one that's dead's friend testifying against him.
That he had obtained a video taken inside the bathroom by one of Joe's friends. His friend admitted Ramirez liked to have his fights recorded, but that he deleted the video because he was, quote, scared of what happened. The video shows Ramirez punching Allison and Allison swinging back a knife in his right hand. Allison is later cornered and a scream can be heard coming from Ramirez. We're also learning more about what led to that May 3rd day. Multiple witnesses today shared that the tension between the 2 began at a prom after party at Allison's girlfriend's house, and that plans to fight after school and off campus were in place. Allison's friends testified that he had told her about the plans, but, quote, he didn't want to fight. He wanted to graduate. We ran out of time during the testimony of one of the boys who was in the bathroom, but he's set to return tomorrow when the trial returns at 9 a.m. To read more about what the witnesses testified today, go to kcentv.com.
Today, testimony continued in the murder trial of Kaysen Allison, a former Belton High student accused of stabbing and killing a fellow student. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker was back at the Bell County Justice Complex. Sydney, what'd you learn?
Today, we heard from 3 more boys who were present in the bathroom during the fight. Plus, we got more context about what happened at a prom after party that caused tension between Allison and Ramirez. The first boy, who had already been questioned by the state yesterday, faced cross-examination today. The defense asked him, quote, "Would you wait for the second punch?" And, quote, "Would you gamble with your life or would you end the fight?" State redirected with, quote, "Would you stab somebody in a fist fight?" To which the student replied no. Another student who was in the bathroom simply by chance revealed that Belton High students caught in fights were fined $300 in tickets. He also confirmed that the bathroom doors can lock from both.
Wait a damn minute. What kind of rich ass school is this? Did I just hear these motherfuckers say somebody said if the students get caught in a fight, they fine $300 worth of tickets? You mean the parents are fined $300? These kids ain't got no goddamn jobs.
The outside and inside, but it is. Another student who was in the bathroom simply by chance revealed that Belton High students caught in fights were fined $300 in tickets. He also confirmed that the bathroom doors can lock from both the outside and inside, but it is still unknown if the bathroom was or was not locked by Ramirez. Last up for the day was Ramirez's brother. He testified that at a prom after party, Allison acted aggressive and inappropriate toward his prom date, which caused his brother to step in. Afterward, a Snapchat group was created where Allison shared with Ramirez plans to fight in the woods of West Temple Park. The trial was finished today around 12:30 due to some scheduling conflicts, so we'll hear more from Joe Ramirez's brother tomorrow when the trial resumes at 9 a.m. Ramirez's brother returned to the stand today along with two others. Emotions ran high today, with one member in the gallery removed from the gallery after he yelled out at the defense, calling him ignorant, and was escorted out of the courtroom. Ramirez's brother, plus a medical examiner and a close friend of Kaysen, were on the stand today. Today, we learned Joe Ramirez had been previously arrested for assault when he was 18 and the victim was 17. He was brought to tears.
Mitigating circumstances where they showing the nigga that was killed had a history of fucking with people. They did not prove this. It was not brought up in Karmelo's case. I don't know why. If we believe what Charleston White said, it's because they didn't want to hire a mitigation specialist to testify and to bring up some of those things that Charleston White alleged that I ain't gonna repeat. You go check out the video from earlier, you want to hear it.
Close friend of Kaysen were on the stand today. Today, we learned Joe Ramirez had been previously arrested for assault when he was 18 and the victim was 17. He was brought to tears. Ramirez's brother was brought to tears when videos from that day were shown to him. The defense also asked if Ramirez was, quote, mad that Kaysen fought back, to which he replied, "I'm mad that he killed my brother." Next up was a medical examiner who oversaw Ramirez's autopsy. He shared that their examination found 4 separate stab wounds on Ramirez's body. The examiner said that the cause of death was stabbing with homicide as the matter of death. We learned there was one large stab wound across Ramirez's chest, which caused multiple injuries to both the heart itself and the left lung, as well as 2 stab wounds on his buttocks and a wound on his upper back and left forearm. Last up for the day was a friend of Allison.
He shanked him like a jailhouse nigga.
Who shared that he had heard from others that Allison had brought a knife to school that day, but was unsure if Allison had told him this personally. That friend will be back next week to testify and probably talk about some evidence that was discussed today, consisting of 2 text message chains between Allison and the friend. Trial will not resume until Monday, April 21st. We'll be back for you then.
Today marked day 5 of the murder trial of Kaysen Allison, with 4 more witnesses taking the stand, including 2 tips.
One testimony that really stands out from today comes from an ex-girlfriend of Joe Ramirez and a close friend of Kaysen Allison. She shared that Allison had told her directly threats towards Joe Ramirez. Another close friend of Allison returned to the stand today discussing text messages between the two of them, and those texts contained things like Allison saying, "Bro, bring me a gun," and discussion of Joe and their altercation at the prom after party. That friend said that the after party is where this all started, and that it was his understanding that Ramirez had pulled a gun on Allison at this party. Next up was Ramirez's girlfriend, who said that Allison had told her personally that, quote, he wanted Joe on life support and wanted to stomp his head in. Most of the day was spent questioning Belton police investigator Robert Preston. He shared a recovered Snapchat audio recording, which includes Allison detailing Ramirez pulling a gun on him at the prom after party, calling Ramirez names, and saying he wanted to, quote, send him to the hospital. In cross-examination, the defense mostly attempted to discredit his investigation and the methods used, asking why he didn't review certain security videos or obtain witnesses' phones when the high school was still on lockdown. Lastly, Detective Robert Gatewood shared an audio recording from when he had arrested Allison at his home. Allison can be heard asking someone to come get him and take him to Waco. followed by his arrest when he says, quote, "I was just trying to protect myself." That witness was on stand for most of the day. In cross-examination, the defense mostly asked him to discredit his investigation. There's still more witnesses to come. This trial is still ongoing. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Today, a Belton PD detective took the stand and showed evidence confirming that the lock on the bathroom door was not functioning from the inside. This comes after multiple claims from the defense that Ramirez had locked the door during the fight. Up first for the day was a Temple police officer who worked with the K-9 unit to find the murder weapon. The small black folding knife was found in a field close to the roadway where Allison had told him it was. Allison had thrown the knife out of his car when on the way home from Belton High. The investigation's primary detective, Gene Cole, testified next. He shared that Allison told him that he had taken the knife from his stepdad's closet that morning because he, quote, "knew if he saw Josh and Joe in the bathroom, there was going to be a fight." The detective also detailed Belton PD's initial questioning of Allison, sharing that Allison told him he did not remember how many times he stabbed Joe. A video taken by Detective Cole was then shown, determining that, quote, "the lock did not actually work and could not be engaged from the inside." Furthermore, Cole said that Allison had never mentioned anything to him about Joe or Josh Rios locking the door. We ended at about 2 p.m. today due to some scheduling issues, but we can expect to hear from Detective Cole tomorrow when he continues his testimony when the trial returns at 9 a.m.
Well, the prosecution rested its case today in the murder trial of Kaysen Allison.
Detective Gene Cole, who was the primary detective on the investigation into the stabbing at Belton High, was on the stand for almost 5 hours, and that's just today. This isn't including his testimony from yesterday as well. After the state rested its case, the defense called 3 witnesses in the last hour of today. The full over an hour-long video of detectives' initial questioning of Allison was shown to the jury today. The video shows Allison lying his head down on the desk and eventually lying on the ground and vomiting in a trash can. In the video, Allison revealed that he took the knife from his stepdad's closet that morning out of fear of being jumped by Ramirez, and also that before Ramirez had punched him, he had pulled the knife out and told Ramirez, quote, "don't touch me or I'm going to stab you." What followed was a long period of pushback from the defense regarding the overall investigation. They asked why Allison was questioned even though he was visibly ill, why Allison was not Mirandized in a more serious matter, and why Cole did not view security footage previously. They also asked once again why phones were not collected at the scene before the lockdown was lifted. The prosecution rested their case just before 4 p.m., and the defense then called 3 witnesses. First was the doctor who treated Allison in the emergency department. He confirmed that Allison was given a CT scan to rule out serious head injuries like a brain bleed or skull fracture, and also confirmed his diagnosis of a closed head injury. Next was a close friend of Allison who was supposed to fight alongside Allison in the planned fight off campus. He said that that fight was supposed to occur around 5 p.m. that day and take place in a 3-on-3 format. Last up was a teacher and coach from Belton High who helped stop Ramirez's brother from chasing Allison down the hallway. He shared that Josh Rios had told him that his brother was stabbed in the bathroom, and the two went to check assuming that Ramirez would still be in there. After that, he took Josh to the nurse's office and kept him in there, assuming that, quote, "the best way to help Joe was to let the nurses work." In cross-examination, the accuracy of claims made by Allison's friend about who initiated the planning of the fight altogether was questioned, and Snapchat group chats were discussed. We ended right at 5 p.m. today, but we'll be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow to hear the defense continue their case.
Both the defense and the prosecution have now closed and rested their cases in the murder trial of Kaysen Allison. Allison is accused of stabbing classmate Joe Ramirez nearly 3 years ago. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker has been in the courtroom since the trial started. So, Sydney, what happens now?
Yeah, both sides have rested, but they got a lot done. In the past 2 weeks, we've heard from over 30 witnesses. 5 of them took the stand today, including one familiar face. A friend of Allison shared today that he saw someone pull a gun on Allison at the prom after party, but it was not Ramirez. After that, a person testified that they had been jumped by Ramirez in the past. Later, Belton PD Captain Richard Spurgeon testified that he got a statement from Josh Rios at the hospital that day, but Rios had not been very, quote, forthcoming. He also said that they had been made aware friends of Ramirez had been seeking retribution that day. When Rios returned to the stand, the defense listed things that he failed to tell law enforcement the first time. Rios said, very, quote, forthcoming. He also got a statement that had been jumped by Ramirez at the day, including one familiar face. Weeks, we've heard from over 30 witnesses. 5 of them took the stand today, including one familiar face. A friend of Allison shared today that he saw someone pull a gun on Allison at the prom after party, but it was not Ramirez. After that, a person testified that they had been jumped by Ramirez in the past. Later, Belton PD Captain Richard Spurgeon testified that he got a statement from Josh Rios at the hospital that day, but Rios had not been very, quote, forthcoming. He also said that they had been made aware friends of Ramirez had been seeking retribution that day. When Rios returned to the stand, the defense listed things that he failed to tell law enforcement the first time. Rios said that he was going through a lot of emotions when he was questioned by Spurgeon at the hospital, and said his brother's life was the main thing on his mind at the time. Last up for the day was Allison's mom, who shared 2 photos of Allison she had taken when he had arrived home that day on the incident, showing blood on his face and a busted lip. After both sides closed, the jury was excused until Monday morning at 9 a.m. That will give the judge and the counsel some time to discuss the charges and finalize them. When the jury returns, we'll hear that official charge and also those closing arguments.
Well, following a conference with the judge and jury today, the court has decided on a final charge for Kaysen Allison. We're waiting to hear back from the court on what that charge is. 6 News was at the court during initial discussions this morning. We know the judge has instructed the jury to consider charging Allison with murder, manslaughter, or criminally negligent homicide. Right now, he's accused of stabbing classmate Joe Ramirez to death back in 2022 during a fight in a Belton High School bathroom.
Yeah, we were all waiting in the hallway anxiously for that verdict to come in, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer because the jury in the trial of Kaysen Allison has just been sequestered. They will continue their deliberations for another day. At about 12:15, the jury went into a closed room to start their deliberations and begin discussion. In the hours since then, the hallways have been packed as people are waiting. At 5, they notified people that if they left the building, they would not be let back into the building because that's when the Justice Complex closes. A food vendor, though, stayed open until 7, though he ran out of most of his supply and was left with only snacks. We saw boxes of pizza brought in for the on-duty officers, the jury, and even members of the council. Finally, the jury asked to conclude for the evening and was sequestered. They had brought a packed bag in anticipation of this.
This evening, tonight, Judge Wade Faulkner, who's the district judge for the 478th, who's been hearing the trial that y'all been covering the last couple of weeks, has ordered Sheriff Bill Cook, the sheriff of Bell County, to sequester the jury. We have moved them to an undisclosed hotel location where they remain under the security of the sheriff's office.
In reaching a verdict, all 12 jurors must agree that a charge is or is not proven beyond reasonable doubt. First, the jury must consider 3 different theories of murder. If they find none to be proven, they then consider self-defense. If neither are agreed upon, manslaughter is then discussed. If they don't agree on that, self-defense must be considered. Lastly, criminally negligent homicide is considered. Of course, they can also find Allison not guilty on all charges or struggle to agree, resulting in a mistrial. Well, the court is in recess until the jury agrees on that verdict, and we are going to have to wait just another day. But the Judge Faulkner ordered the sheriff to return the jury tomorrow at 9 a.m. to consider and continue their deliberations, consider all the evidence, and hopefully we are one step closer to that verdict. I'll be back tomorrow with an update as soon as we have one. Live in Belton, Sydney Walker, 6 News.
Sydney, thanks for hanging in there. I know it's been a long day for the jury and for you. Thanks so much. After more than 2 weeks of trial, today a jury found former Belton High student Kaysen Allison guilty of criminally negligent homicide. It's the least severe charge he faced, as the jury found him not guilty of murder and manslaughter. We now go to 6 News reporter Sydney Walker live at the Bell County Justice Complex. Sydney, how was it today?
And the jury finally came back with their verdict today at about 10:45 a.m. This comes after they heard from over 20 witnesses, viewed, heard, saw all of the above, all sorts of evidence that led them to believe that Kaysen Allison had acted criminally negligent, resulting in the death of Joe Ramirez almost 3 years ago today in that Belton High bathroom. Based on the verdict, the 12 members of the jury believed that the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Allison had acted criminally negligent, resulting in the death of Joe Ramirez. After Allison was found guilty, his defense attorney, Zach Boyd, asked the judge if Allison's ankle monitor could be removed. The state objected to this and asked Faulkner to find his bond insufficient. The judge denied both of these requests. Allison faces anywhere from 6 months.
Now, how come his sentencing wasn't immediate? What the hell was going on in the Karmelo case where it came down immediately? They came back on the 16th. Well, I guess since he decided for the jury, I don't know though. Would the judge have came back a different day?
Months to 2 years in prison, but we will have to wait until June 16th. Allison to this and asked Faulkner to find his bond insufficient. The judge denied both of these requests. Allison faces anywhere from 6 months to 2 years in prison, but we will have to wait until.
So what he was convicted of carried from 6 months to 2 years in prison. He had already been in jail for, well, no, he wasn't. He hadn't been in jail for 3. Never mind, take that back, because he was on the fucking ankle monitor. He was on bond. Yeah, what he was convicted of, the maximum time was only 2 years. And in the Karmelo trial, they tried the defense argued for criminally negligent homicide to be added. The prosecution argued against it, and the judge agreed with that one, so they just added manslaughter with the whatchamacallit. Yeah, it went from 2 years to 10 because of the judge.
Till June 16th for that sentencing. When news of a verdict came in, people piled into the courtroom, anxiously awaiting, some even already crying. Allison's defense team acknowledged the high emotions in this case.
This was a hard case, and nobody should ever outlive their child. No human being should have their child die in a violent way. And I'm so sorry for their loss. And the Allison family is so sorry for their loss, because there is no good outcome to this.
When news of a verdict came in, people piled into the courtroom, anxiously awaiting. Before the verdict was read, Judge Faulkner reminded everyone that the court would not allow any verbal outbursts, disrespect, or standing out of seats, regardless of what verdict was read. The jury had been deliberating from 12:15 p.m. last night to about 9 p.m. last night, when they then requested to be sequestered. Before the verdict was read, Judge Faulkner reminded everyone about the rules of the court, like I said earlier, and the jury had been deliberating from 12:15 to about 9 p.m. last night, when they requested to be sequestered. But they came back at 9 a.m. today, discussed for about 2 hours, and then arrived at that verdict when they found out that Allison was accused and found guilty of criminal negligence. So, yes.
All right, thanks so much, Sydney. Well, the verdict come as a pivotal moment in a case that has drawn intense scrutiny since the fatal stabbing at Belton High School in 2022. The jury had 4 different options under Texas homicide law: acquittal, murder, manslaughter, or criminally negligent homicide.
They chose the least severe of the criminal options, rejecting the state's allegations that Allison intended to kill Ramirez. 6 News reporter Juliana Jackson has more on the legal implications of this verdict. Juliana?
It's important to break down the legal differences between these charges. Murder requires intent to kill or cause serious bodily injury. Manslaughter involves recklessly causing death, and while criminally negligent homicide is when someone causes death by taking a substantial and unjustifiable risk that results in death.
Often one of those cases that we refer to as splitting the baby. There were likely people on both sides of the fence. They were given many options.
Self-defense played a pivotal role in the case in Allison trial.
The defendant say, yes, I committed the offense. However, I was justified in doing so. So that completely shifts the narrative of the case. We don't have a defendant saying, it wasn't me, I didn't do it.
The jury's verdict suggests they believed Allison's actions went beyond what a reasonable person would consider necessary self-defense, but did not find he intended to kill Ramirez or acted with conscious disregard for human life. Criminally negligent homicide punishment ranges typically from 180 days to 2 years in a state jail facility. However, there's one factor that could alter Allison's sentence.
If there is an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon, the judge cannot give the defendant probation. So whether or not there is a deadly weapon finding in this case is critically important.
Even though a knife was used in this case, an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon is not automatic. It must be specifically found by either the jury or the judge. Allison has chosen to have Judge Faulkner determine his sentence rather than the jury. Legal analyst Liz Mitchell says this could be a strategic decision.
We have a defendant who has never been involved in the criminal justice system. He is basically set up for a successful life. A jury, it's sometimes harder for jurors to put emotion aside and look just at the facts. With judges, they are looking strictly at the facts.
While many criminal convictions are automatically appealed, appealing this verdict could be dangerous for Allison.
If he appeals the case and it's reversed and remanded, meaning it is sent back to the trial court, the state can try him again, and that means you are rolling the dice and could possibly be convicted of murder the second time around.
Allison will remain free on bond until sentencing hearing, which is set for June 16th at 9 a.m. At that time, we'll learn whether a deadly weapon finding will be made and whether Allison will serve his sentence on probation or in custody. You can stay updated here on 6 News.
Allison's defense attorney, Zachary Boyd, spoke moments after the verdict was delivered.
All right, folks, let's talk about this verdict. You heard it. After the jury listened to everything, after they waded through the mud and the murky waters turned up by a less than perfect investigation, they came back with criminally negligent homicide. Now the state, they started out hard swinging and crying murder. They wanted everyone to believe that my client, this young man, Kason Allison, was a cold-blooded murderer. But that's not the verdict you heard today. The jury looked at the evidence. They looked at all of the evidence, or rather, they looked at the lack of all of the evidence. The vital pieces that were ignored or mishandled. And they said, no, not murder. They didn't even say manslaughter, which is a step down and requires recklessness or a conscious disregard of risk. No, they found criminally negligent homicide. Now, what does that mean under Texas law? It means that Kason caused the death, but it was by criminal negligence. It's about failing to perceive a substantial, unjustifiable risk that his actions would cause the death. It's a gross deviation from what an ordinary person should have been aware. Think about that. It means the jury found he did not intend to kill, or even that he was aware of the specific risk, but decided to ignore it. They found he should have been aware based on his actions in a moment of sheer terror and chaos. This verdict, while it is not the full acquittal that we were seeking, is a clear rejection of the state's case and the state's primary narrative. It tells us that the jury grappled with the context of what happened in that bathroom that day on May 3rd of 2022. They heard about the after prom party where someone from Joe's group pulled a gun on Kaysen. They heard Sam Ramirez testify despite his own fear about witnessing that gun being brandished. They heard from Corbin Ovale tell you about Joe Ramirez's history of violence and his group and their history of jumping people. They heard Angel Murillo say Kaysen didn't want to fight and Joe tried to lock the bathroom door. Tito Chamel was the cameraman. He confirmed that Joe tried to lock the door and initiated the encounter. He also said that he was recording the fight because Joe liked to have his fights recorded. They saw Kaysen's injuries from the attack consistent with being sucker punched. They heard Kaysen's own words.
Could this be the reason that the jury came up with the verdict that they did?
From the interview that he was rushed.
What injuries did Karmelo have on him? He was allegedly supposed to have been jumped and threatened and pushed down and punched. And what injuries did he have on him? They said this guy here, this murderer in this case, he had a closed head injury. So this nigga damn near had a concussion. He was hit so goddamn hard.
And punched after they took off their backpacks and approached him. And all of this evidence, the evidence the state often tried to ignore or minimize or mislead the jury on, painted a picture of a young man facing a perceived threat of serious bodily injury or death who was trapped in a small, confined, inescapable place, a boy's bathroom. And we all know that
outdoors, small bathroom. Why would you say small bathroom? Enclosed space versus wide open.
nothing good ever happened.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he walked in the bathroom to fight him. He just so happened to go in the bathroom and his op popped up in there behind him.
Happens in the boys' bathroom. Self-defense under the law the judge gave allowed for the deadly use of force if he reasonably believed it was immediately necessary to protect himself. There was no self-defense option in regards to criminally negligent homicide. The jury had to consider whether or not the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Kaysen did not act in self-defense, and they wholly failed to do so. And let's not forget the shadow cast by the investigation itself. The failure to Mirandize Kaysen at the arrest, the minimization of Kaysen Allison's rights under Miranda at the beginning of his interrogation. Watching.
Oh, they found all type of technical loopholes in this goddamn case.
With callous disregard as
That's good lawyer work. I think we can all agree that Karmelo's lawyer sucked. I think we can all agree to that. His lawyer sucked.
Kaysen's injuries continue to hurt him. He continues to feel worse throughout the interview, such that at one point he lays down on the floor and vomits. And the quote you hear from the law enforcement officer, Detective Gatewood at that time, is, "You weren't kidding, were you, Kaysen?" Because Kaysen was telling the truth in that interview as best as he knew it after having sustained a closed head injury that was diagnosed at the ER when they had to rule out a brain bleed by CT to make sure he wasn't more injured than he actually was. These were not minor hiccups. They didn't even try to investigate self-defense. They didn't even try to put together a day in the life video of each of the boys that day with a arrived at school, when they went to their first period class, when they left their first period class and walked to the bathroom at A100 in that wing where these events took place, and then when they left, because it was too much footage, I guess. We had 18 plus terabytes of video. They said, law enforcement said they looked at less than an hour of video. They simply chose not to do a complete, thorough, and comprehensive investigation. The jury, by returning a verdict of criminally negligent homicide, has told us they didn't buy the state's argument that Kaysen acted with intent to kill or even act with reckless disregard for life in that moment. They saw a young man scared, injured, reacting in a sudden, violent encounter that others initiated and escalated. This verdict reflects a finding of a lower level of culpability, recognizing the chaos and fear Kaysen experienced, which may have prevented him from fully perceiving the risk in that split second, even if an ordinary person hypothetically should have. This is not over. We move on to the sentencing phase. We will continue to fight for justice for Kaysen Allison, a young man who was trying to graduate, trying to avoid trouble. He was thrust into a terrifying situation, and this verdict acknowledges that what happened was a tragedy, and it rejects the state's attempt to paint Kaysen as a murderer. It brings us closer to the truth, a truth based on layers, a truth rooted in self-preservation in the face of fear and attack.
All right, y'all. My punk ass is sleepy. I thought I was gonna get back to slow auntie, but I'm sleepy. I may revisit it in the morning. I still got my time still. But that's all I got for now. To the next episode, little channel, big voice. We out. Low key niggas hating cause they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we don't eat.